everyone, and welcome to Tinfoil Thursday. How's everyone doing? Hope your week's been alright. All things considered. Noises, I'm in emotional distress. Welcome everyone to another Tinfoil. We're going to be looking at conspiracies. Today there's going to be a decent amount that are about Charlie Kirk. As you might imagine, an event like that isn't going to go by conspiracy theorists without them coming up with all sorts of weird theories about it. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. As you can see, the new costume that you guys chose for today is 80s. I guess it's like 80s. I got jelly bracelet. You can't really see the jelly bracelets with the fishnet gloves. You get it though. I'm an ugly bitch. You guys know. It's just in a new costume. Hold on, I gotta fix the light. For the record, I am wearing shorts under this. They're just flesh tone, so when I stand up, don't be aghast at how see-through the skirt tutu thing is. I am wearing shorts underneath. They're just pink. So, today we are going to be playing bingo, so if you'd like to get your bingo cards ready, feel free. It is still September, so if you want to help support the stream, you can always gift subs or subscribe yourself on Twitch to avoid ads, because ads are a huge pain in the ass. You can also help us get to our next tip goal, where I'm going to get like a soundboard thing so I can kind of control stuff easier and add some sound effects or visuals that are dynamic to the stream. You should cancel your Disney Plus account, Hulu, ESPN Plus, DraftKings, anything affiliated with Disney. And I think that's all the housekeeping. Cool beans. Fennikagami with 40 bits says, "Hey Hannah, heard about the trans bill that was proposed in the Michigan House of Representatives. Hope you're doing okay." I've never been okay, so that's good. At least I'm used to it. Rick M, thanks for 27 months, says 27 Prime subs, 27 payments from Jeff Tanner Reloaded. This sub baby's name is going to be... things are escalating much quicker than one would hope. Anyway, so, yeah. Shit's going on, man, politically. I feel like shit. I'm pretty sure my hormones are all out of whack after my orchiectomy, and I don't have my appointment with my hormone person until next week. So I'm feeling not good. So let's channel that not good feeling into some comedy. Maybe that'll make me feel better for 3 hours or so. Shall we? Oh, I can't stop looking at how ugly I am. This is not gonna be good. Let's jump into it. Firstly, Chris did do another video, however, he keeps making the same weird mistake. And that same weird mistake is he keeps going to the beach and trying to film videos, but he never brings a microphone. He just goes to the beach near the roar of the sea and expects his camera to pick up his voice every time. He's done this like 5 times over the years, and everyone always tells him, "We can't hear you, Chris. You're at the fucking ocean." And he never listens, which isn't that surprising given his personality profile. But here we are, face to face, a couple of silver spoons. Look how far he walks away, too, like we're gonna hear him. Look at how far away he's walking! Where are you going, Chris? You leaving your camera? Where are you going? What's going on? He just understands the inherent eroticism of the sea. There's nothing more erotic than the smell of low tide. Where's he going? He gave up. We did it. He's talking. Can't hear him, but he's certainly talking. That's good.
Good morning, good evening, good evening.
Oh, you're a little bit. Chris. I don't think so.
Fantasyland, fucking Walt Disney World, which is not...
So he just yells on the beach for 20 minutes. It's indecipherable. We're not going to watch it. But I do find it funny enough to show you that it happened. So there you go. Fanakagami says a lot of these conspiracies are going to come down to Kash Patel and the FBI are incompetent as fuck. He did shit like go on Fox News and said they enhanced the photo and video. Like, what? Did you use AI on the evidence? Tyler Robinson very well may walk because of Kash's desperate need to be the main character of a crime drama. Did they really say they enhanced the video like they're on CSI or NCIS or something? Enhance! We can't enhance the photo, sir. That's the resolution. That's... Do you know how cameras work? Cthulhu Flower. Thanks for a 3-stream streak says, I think I get how CC can be a flat earther. He is this bad at learning the basics after doing a thing for this long. Yeah, it's not great. Nemesaur, thank you so much for gifting 20 tier 1 subs. Incredibly generous of you. Much appreciated. Lilac with 40 bits. A 22-year-old Texan, Utah.
You have no doubt heard of the shooting, and I must admit...
Okay, see, here's the thing, though. This is a joke that's based on the conspiracy theory that the text messages that were released aren't real. Chat. Do we have to have a talk about the difference between not wanting something to be true and something not being true? I'm gonna die. I hope so. I hope it's soon. Altered Undying with a 7-stream streak says, does this mean I have streaked 7 times? I think you would have gotten caught by now if that was the case. The number of people I've seen, the number of people I have seen that have been like, I don't know, those text messages they don't talk like teenagers, and it's like a 30-year-old saying that. I'm sorry, do you know how teenagers talk right now? But also, it doesn't come off as, like, crazy to me. It just was written like someone who's awkward and doesn't know how to talk, so they're talking overly formally. But I'm not going to have that discussion. I'm not going to have that discussion. Altered Undying. Let me see your bits. Let me go find them. Says, I haven't had a chance to watch the Moriarty anime. Knowing it exists is amusing to me. I'm adding it to the list of anime to force my British history major watch. His suffering is delicious. Yeah, I hope that's good. I like Sherlock stuff, so a Moriarty show sounds cool. You have friends in their 20s and they would write like that? Yeah. He was a weird kid, quite fucking clearly. It's just annoying to me how quickly I've seen some people on the left also go to conspiracy theories. Like, it kind of drives me insane. I'm going insane. I'm doing very badly. I'm doing quite terribly badly. This is a cry for help. What else? Oh, Gina. Remember Gina? She got her channel deleted. Gina's gone. Gina's channel is gone. But I did find someone claiming she's a reptilian, so that's good.
Leg. Leg.
Oh, this channel is called Sheeple Matrix Reloaded, by the way. Do we need to bring out the puppet to help you process? I fear the things the puppet would say to me if I put it on right now. So anyway, it's gonna play Tears of a Clown, which I do not own the rights to, so I gotta mute it. But, yeah, they just play one of Gina's dancing videos, and they're gonna pause it and be like, look, she's a reptilian! 'Cause cameras and motion blur. So doesn't understand how cameras work on the bingo card, as well as reptilians. Doesn't understand how cameras work, as well as reptilians on the bingo card. Anyway, do we still have the YouTube graveyard? We don't. I gotta rebuild it. Charlie Kirk's channel apparently needs to go on there now, too. What are you gonna do? Oh, we're on a golden Kappa train. 77% to level 5. I don't know why it started so late after the other things. I think if you do level 5 of this train, you get a special emote or something. They have multiple different trains at this point. Alright, let's mark those things off the bingo card, and then we'll get into some stupid Charlie Kirk conspiracies. I'm gonna go ahead and do false flag, because that's basically a free space today. We're gonna do, where was it? Doesn't understand how cameras work, and reptilians. Where is reptilians? 22. We did it. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. Steve with a Q with 50 bits says, ironic that Gina, out of all people, is the victim of conspiracy theory based not on understanding cameras. It's the circle of conspiracy theory. You either die a conspiracy theorist or live long enough to see yourself become the conspiracy theory. Hydrate. Terradona, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Bumble Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub. Sweet Lily Love with 100 bits says, your outfit is grody to the max. How dare you? That's the bad one. I'm boss. I'm radical in the extreme. Actually, extreme was more 90s. Radical would be 80s, though. That's fine. You're late. What have you missed? Existential pain. Icky Neko, thanks for 26 months, says 26 is a good number. I've seen worse. Fenekagami says, there's more evidence that the text may be fake. It compared the text to the Discord messages. Discord released the vernacular is so different. People talk differently to different people. Plus, the text literally sound like they're plugging the holes in the mainstream narratives. But regardless, would you like of Cash saying they enhanced the video? I believe you on the enhanced thing. I'm just... You guys know you're doing vibes-based conspiracy, right? Am I losing my mind? Why have I done this for 5 years? You're doing... I hate everyone in the world! You're doing vibes-based conspiracy, Fenekagami! I'm not even saying you're necessarily wrong, but you know that's what you're doing, right? That's vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card. Ah! Today's the day. Today's the day I finally have the courage to end it. Anyway, let's get into some conspiracy that isn't gonna... I don't even know at this point. KTB89 with 51 months says, it just all goes to show we're all vulnerable to conspiracy and propaganda. Stay alert. Lennon Cat says that previous message was meant to have a cheer. And it said, if reptilians weren't real, how would someone have painted this picture, Hannah? Side note, this was my phone's wallpaper for years. It's more of a raptor than a reptilian. But I'll take it. Am I okay? No. Okay, what are we gonna do next? Okay, let's get into the stupid Charlie Kirk conspiracies. They're coming from everywhere. They're coming from the left. They're coming from the right. They're coming from just the typical non-political crackpots. It's the house is surrounded. It's like we're in Night of the Living Dead. We need to fall back to the basement.
To another edition of the Truth Zone. As always, this is your host, Truth Seeker here. And Charlie Kirk was shot and unalived after a...
He's dead. You could say he's dead. He's dead. He's died. He is dead.
Event in Utah. And to me, after...
This is my boomer thing, by the way, and I understand why it exists for, like, monetization reasons and algorithm bullshit, but this is my boomer thing. I will never do this. I don't care. I've never been that successful on YouTube in the first place. He died. He was not unalived. He was not deleted. He died. He was shot. He died. He's dead. Words matter. Oh my god. Now I want to die.
Doing some more research, to me, this seems like yet another
says they did their own researcher, but did their own research, but is not a researcher on the bingo card.
Distraction. Yet another psyop. Now, am I saying, you know, that Charlie Kirk
psyop on the bingo card?
Wasn't actually shot or anything like that? No. He could have very well been shot and used as a blood sacrifice, a blood ritual, because this is what these people do.
These people, the generic enemy that I place into the slot of antagonist in any given situation I don't like, which makes thinking a lot easier because I don't have to do it anymore.
They constantly do this stuff over and over and over and over. And it seems like Wednesdays are normally known for a day where shootings and stuff like that happen. That's what it seems like anyway. But to me,
sir, this is America. Shootings happen every day of the week. Every day that ends in Y, there's bloodshed, there's shooting. It's a goddamn nightmare in here.
This seems like yet another ritual. Everything surrounding this really doesn't add up. To me, this seems like more
vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card.
Or order out of chaos. And to me, this seems like further steps that are going to be happening, leading to the total takeover, the police state, the lockdowns, the digital ID system. That's what I firmly believe with everything going on, everything that you see currently happening. There was another event recently that was just, recently shown to on a train. So I don't know. There's some bizarre stuff happening.
I don't even know the train thing he's talking about. That's how much death is happening regularly now. Puka, thanks for 300 bits. 13% to level 7 on the train. I think it is September, so stuff is discounted. Hats off. Depraved ambiance. What do you want? I have to wear this for the costume, so it has to go with that.
Here you see Trump put out a post. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. So again, when you begin to...
I do find it pretty funny that Trump skipped Charlie Kirk's memorial to go golfing. Like, they're not even trying that hard with how much they want to use this to crack down on their political enemies. Like, they don't even feel the need to pretend that hard about it as a justification. It's the laziness of it that gets to me. Streamer's choice, whatever makes me feel cutest. Does that count? Freyline says, a man stabbed a Ukraine refugee apparently at random. Oh, fun. I love being a human. We're so nice. Fede Kagami says, unfortunately, currently we're trapped in a world where all institutional trust has been destroyed. Trump is not allowed truth when it becomes inconvenient, but I've been pushing back on the Israel and professional hit narratives. I just think the FBI are stupid and covering their asses if it makes you feel better. I saw a post claiming Rowling had cancer, and my first instinct was to confirm instead of believing it. She's fine, by the way. I believe those text messages did not come from the FBI. They came from the Utah police. So if that makes you feel any differently about it, those were released, I believe, by the Utah police, not the FBI. Cat ears, baby? I guess.
Look at everything, you will see things for what they really are.
Thanks for the hype train, everyone.
That everything that you see on TV, everything that you see on the news, is nothing more than theater. This seems like more psyops. This seems like more
Fun fact, I didn't see it on TV. Saw it on a phone, like 10 minutes after it happened.
distractions, because apparently the suspect is still at large.
You don't even see why people think the texts are fake. Because they don't want it to be true that there's a trans person involved in the situation at all, because we all know that Republicans are going to use it as a narrative to hurt trans people like myself and like many people in my audience, so they don't want it to be true. It doesn't matter that the person may have been dating a trans woman. It shouldn't matter, but we know how Republicans are going to use that, so we don't want it to be true. So any evidence that that's the case and that's actually what has happened, people are going to go, oh, this makes me feel weird. That must mean it's suspicious, so it must be a lie. Everyone does this about things that make them uncomfortable and makes them scared. Everyone does this. Just be careful. Just don't self-delude because it's uncomfortable. You need to be able to see uncomfortable realities in order to prepare for what's going to happen. Do you understand? I'm not upset. I'm not trying to be upset. I just hoped a lot of us were better than this, is all. You know? Like, is it that hard to believe that someone shot Charlie Kirk specifically because they didn't like him and they were a trans ally? I'm not saying that that's definitely the truth, but based on the evidence I see right now, that's what I think happened, right? And I don't think you should have shot him. I don't think that was probably a great move, Chief. You don't have to agree with me. Who knows what's going to happen over the coming weeks and months? I'm just telling you, based on what I have seen right now, that seems to be what has happened. And I just don't know what to tell you other than that. I know this is going to make people mad. I know it is. If you have evidence if you have evidence to something else, please share it with me. I'm just letting you know.
At that, as of the time of you watching this show. But when you actually go and look, you will see plenty of times where Charlie Kirk has flashed their symbolism. Plenty of times. And that's by no accident. That's by no coincidence, because Charlie Kirk was one of them. He was part of the club. He could pretend all that he want, that he was a Christian and what have you, but he was clearly part of the club. And I honestly believe that this
spurious symbology is evidence on the bingo card.
Was a ritual that was done one day before 9/11 at that. I mean, come on. One day before 9/11. I mean, what are the odds?
9/11 out of nowhere on the bingo card.
Odds of that. And here you even see
1 out of 365, roughly. Also, it wasn't necessarily random. That's a day he chose to do a speaking event. It's not a roll of the dice. That's when he chose to do a speaking event at a specific college that the shooter decided to take advantage of.
Him flashing the Donald Trump hand sign, right? Oh, no, that's the 666 hand sign.
That's actually the OK hand sign, which he's probably doing as sort of a trollish ha 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 ha. Remember when people were saying that this is a white nationalist hand symbol because of 4chan, and then actual white nationalists started doing it as a meme? Haha.
Or I guess he's just okay, right? And this guy kind of came out of nowhere. He founded Turning Point USA. And there's a lot of big backers involved with Turning Point USA. This seems like more ways to...
Zarek Shadow says it doesn't seem like anyone is trying to turn the shooter into new Luigi Mangione figure, which is a little surprising. I mean, Luigi Mangione looks like a model, so I think that probably helped his PR. Again, we are apes that make aesthetic choices, or choices based on aesthetics often. Also, frankly, I think it's a lot easier on a bipartisan... I'm taking the leg warmers off. This outfit is leg warmers, but you guys can't see them, and they're just making me sweaty on my legs. Who would have thought? What was I saying? It's a lot easier on a nonpartisan measure in America to recognize the damage that healthcare CEOs and for-profit healthcare has done than something as partisan as the Charlie Kirk situation.
To cause chaos and division. That's what it seems like to me, because, I mean, everything currently going on, it seems like it's leading to the digital ID. It's leading to the total police state. This is why Trump deployed the National Guard in certain cities. All of this is tying together, in my honest opinion. All of this is part of their show. All of this is part of their plan. And here's something very interesting. Way back on June 22nd of 2014, look what he posted on Twitter. Did I just get shot by an AR-15? Feels like it. Wow. Talk about predictive program.
Not really. He didn't get shot by an Armalite rifle. He got shot by some kind of bolt action. So that doesn't even make sense. If he was actually shot with an AR-15, maybe you could make some sort of, like, claim about, like, ooh, that's eerie. He wasn't, though. He was shot by a bolt-action hunting rifle, which is a very different thing.
Programming. This was 11 years ago.
I don't know if I saw, but Luigi Mangioni's terrorism charges were dismissed. I did see that. Those were ridiculous to begin with, as was the first-degree murder, considering what first-degree murder means in New York. For those that don't know, in New York, unlike most states, first-degree murder does not just mean premeditated, cold-blooded murder, which is what first-degree is in most states. In New York, that's a second-degree murder, which Luigi is still charged with. First-degree, it has aggravating factors, so it not only has to be premeditated, but I believe it has to be the murder of a police officer, an emergency worker, like an EMT or a firefighter, or a political, someone political, like a political assassination, like a governor or a mayor or something like that, a political candidate, right? So yeah, that charge was always crazy.
When he posted this. That is very ominous. That is very bizarre. That is very strange. Again, you tell me what is going on, because honestly, when you begin to look at all of the details, when you begin to research everything, this is looking more and more like yet another one of their rituals. And I do think the end goal is a total police state. The digital ID backed by Palantir and everything else. This just seems very fishy. And even right here, the numbers should show you and tell you all that you need
Gematria on the bingo card.
to know. Back on July 13th, 2024, when that happened to Donald Trump, to this happening to Charlie Kirk, it was exactly 60 weeks. And in Gematria,
You know how we always count things over a year in weeks, right? That's normally how you talk to people. Oh, how long ago did you guys get married? Oh, 73 weeks. What is it, a newborn?
one of the ciphers, Charlie Kirk, adds up to 60. So again, you tell me, what are the odds of that?
Someone says, Hannah, your buddy Marantz, I hear, is doing YouTube full time. Yeah, I gotta look into that. I have heard rumors that he lost his job at Costco, but I don't know much about that. If so, that sucks, man. I did see a video he did where he was trying to claim weird conspiracy stuff, since it's Tinfoil Tuesday. Marantz was basically trying to claim that he's been, like, looked over for promotions and stuff because the board of directors at Costco didn't like that his videos are exposing private capital and their evil plans against GameStop. When in reality, I assume they just were like, hey, could you, not keep mentioning our company that you work for in your videos? That's what I'm guessing happened, but who knows. Lennon Cat says, my baby is 60 weeks old. You mean 5 years old? Or you mean months? I assume that was supposed to be months. Because 60 weeks would not be 5 years. Fenigami says it's weird that they released the text at all, as that could damage the case regardless. Plus, they aren't time-stamped, so we technically don't know when those texts are from. And another thing that's screwed up is that if Lance is trans, then they are a hero in this narrative because they're cooperating with the police. I'll admit I found those texts suspicious because I didn't want to believe them, though. It's good that everyone who knows Tyler is responding as they should. The thing I think you should focus on is the fact that the other person, whatever their name is not the shooter. There you go. The efficacy of the text messages are irrelevant when you recognize that that person didn't pull the trigger. The person who did was some random guy. So blaming trans people as a whole, frankly, even if the shooter was trans, is insane. By the way, any people in my audience who are non-white, in particular, like African Americans, black people in America, holy shit. I'm not going to say I get it, because it's not like hundreds and hundreds of years of oppression, but I will say, oh. That's what it feels like to have society feel like they're all looking at you because of, like, what you look like based on a crime some random fucker did. I get it! Okay. It's uncomfortable. Anyway,
It's always by codes. It's always by scripts. This is why I showcase Gematria, because these people follow scripts to a T. Over and over again, you are watching a movie. Constantly, you are watching a movie. And Donald Trump adds up to 60 in one of the ciphers. So there you have it. Every single time, these people do things by certain dates, by certain times. They pick certain times to do these events, these rituals, these sacrifices. And this is no different with Charlie Kirk. Oh yeah, and Donald Trump's thing happened on the 13th in July, and Charlie Kirk was 31, 13 reverse. I mean, come on. This is just truly, truly strange. The times that we are living in, everything that you see happening, everything that you see going on, and how so many people
Oh, we're watching a movie on the bingo card. Yeah, they're following scripts. That's we're watching a movie on the bingo card.
Are falling for the obvious, what exactly is happening.
Jay's Proxy says 7:20 to go. Again, while Charlie is receiving so much attention, Evergreen High deserves just as much, if not more. I hope that all of the walkouts have an effect on Colorado's gun legislation. I doubt it will. Sorry.
What exactly is going on?
Frankly, if a bunch of kindergartners getting their brains blown out didn't do anything, nothing's happening, guys. Really? Really?
You know, there's a lot of truthers out there that fall for this psyop. They think that this is legit. They think that this is real. And that's what they want. What they do is they...
Oh, no! Sorry. H-Bird says, WRT, the roommate, their social media doesn't show any signs of transitioning, so either they're not trans or this case has outed them, either of which is disgusting. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta adjust this fan. Doot 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 doot.
pick certain events, they do certain things to tug at your heart.
Why would someone put that in the video? Because he doesn't think it's real, so he thinks it's prop blood.
To, you know, drum up all of this emotion, all of this.
What does this guy think happened there physically? He probably thinks he had like a squib on his neck or something. Let me tell you, as someone who's pretty familiar with film, that would be the densest squib in history. How do you fit a liter of blood into a squib? You can't without a big pack coming down and hiding it somewhere. Anyway.
Energy, because these people are about energy harvesting. This is what these people are about. They are about their rituals. They are about...
If you don't know a squib in special effects, when you see a movie and there's like a little blood burst or something when someone gets shot, that's a squib. It's basically a little thing. There's usually like a string or a trigger or something attached, and you either pull it or activate it, and it's got a little fake blood in there and a little tiny bit of explosive, and it pops, basically.
Out their order out of chaos. And they will stop at nothing to enact all of this order out of chaos. No matter what, no matter who gets hurt. And from Trump's recent birthday until this happened to Charlie Kirk, it was exactly 88 days, and Trump has a big connection to 88.
He does. I would agree with that.
And even Trump adds up to 88 in one of the ciphers in Gematria. So, I mean, come on. When you begin to look at everything, this is all a ritual. This is all done by design. This is all part of their script. You are watching a movie. And I can only imagine what else will come out of this. I can only imagine what other rituals these people have planned. But this is plain as day, another ritual. And of course, there is always a connection to Trump every single time. Rinse and repeat. Because Trump is part of the club. Biden's part of the club. Charlie Kirk was or is part of the club. All of these people.
How many ciphers are there? As many as they need to get the answer they're looking for is the answer to that question. They'll plug it into any number of ciphers that people have put out there on the internet until they get an answer that they can interpret to be conspiratorial.
People, Candace Owens, are part of the club. Wings of the same bird. That's what it all boils down to at the end of the day. Wings of the same.
Amber says, we sure do love living in a dying society. I wish I was dying instead of society.
Bird.
I want it. Society doesn't.
So this might be a turning point. It's ironic that this happened, a turning point. Could this be a code? Could this be...
Clandis had a lot to say. Yeah, I think she's blaming Netanyahu and Israel.
Them...
Which, like, I'm not a fan of Netanyahu and Israel, but they didn't kill Charlie Kirk.
Telling you that we are about to enter the new order system. Turning point. Turning away from the old to the new. Their golden age that they keep talking about. But again, everything that I see in all of the research that I've done, this seems like yet another sacrifice.
Just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, 33.
The second I heard that, by the way, let me tell you. You know how Chuck Schumer, whoever, has the fucking little family in his head, the tulpa weirdos that aren't real that he talks to? I have a conspiracy theorist in my head, and whenever the number 33 pops up, they go, ah! Ah! Ah!
To be precise.
Welcome to another edition of the Truth Zone. As always, this is your host, Truth Seeker here. And boy, did you catch that.
Am I allowed to lift the Black's Law Dictionary yet? No, one more week. One more week, and I can lift the Black's Law Dictionary and other things.
33. They always love to use the same numbers over and over and over. It wasn't 40 hours. It wasn't 38 hours. It wasn't 32 hours. No, it was 33 hours.
Yep, that's how long it took for his dad to turn him in. We did it. Hydrate.
And also, if you pay attention...
Clinton's, Biden's, Obama's, were they mentioned? I didn't notice. If so, yes.
He also brought up 36 and, 3 6s. So, again, you tell me what is going on, because this really looks like a major ritual that was done 3 days after...
I'm so conflicted, by the way. I haven't talked about this, but on the one hand, it seems like the primary message in the conspiracy community, and this is going to be crazy for you guys to hear, most people I've seen in the conspiracy community think that Republicans are trying to pin it on trans people. I have seen so many conspiracy theorists be like, they're trying to blame the transes, but it's not them, it's the cabal! And, like, on the one hand, I'm like, okay, it wasn't a trans person either way, but it's good, I guess, that you're noticing that they are trying to blame trans people to some extent, but also, it's not a cabal. Conspiracy theorists don't trust people in power. So if people in power are trying to kind of vaguely hint at them, it's the T-slurs, they're gonna go, I don't trust you because you're in power. You know what I mean? And that's what I've seen so far. And, like, I guess I'll take it, but, like, how do I explain this? It's like you're working on a vehicle or something, and, like, something explodes, but it doesn't explode in your face, and you're just happy it didn't explode in your face. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't think of a better metaphor right now.
The blood moon. What happened to one Charlie Kirk? If he's even really gone. The character is gone, but
Charlie Kirk died.
this
He is
world
he is a dead man. He is a former person.
is a stage. So it doesn't surprise me that they brought up the number 33, because every single time it's the same codes, it's the same numbers, it's the same scripts. These are all rituals that you are watching over and over and over again, because these people love their order out of chaos. And look at this right here. Neck and freedom both add up to 33.
I'm no Jimmy Kimmel, so I'm going to be real careful here. Fenekagami says, Lance from the Surfs has been doing good coverage on the shooting. He keeps pushing back on all the conspiracies, and even though he leans on thinking the texts are fake, he admits it's just vibes. Another thing that is sad is Candace is the only one who seems to have genuinely liked Kirk, while everyone else is still going start the war, and his last words are my exact ideology. She just shared a montage of them hanging out. She's the only one who talks about Charlie as a person. Oh yeah. The right's using him as a prop in a way that's way more disrespectful than anyone on the left has ever talked about him. It's kind of hilarious. That said, I don't think he would mind. He was a cynical political operative and propagandist. Of course he'd be fine being used as a propaganda piece.
You know, neck because it involved his neck, right? And he was wearing a shirt that said freedom. Now, one has to wonder if this was even symbolism for freedom dying, because, you know, we pretty much aren't free as it is. I mean, think about it, with the Patriot Act and everything else, and the fact that they can spy on you through smart devices and all.
You sent a message to ABC condemning the removal of Kimmel. I canceled my Disney Plus and Hulu.
Kinds of different things.
It's not a big deal. It's not going to do anything, but it makes me feel better. And frankly, I'm spending too much money on that anyway. What is it now? $16 a month? Ugh.
We pretty much aren't free as it is.
Amber says the West is so dead it's not even funny. Like, goddamn, America's cooked and the same right-wing bullshit's coming from Europe. The age of Western hegemony is over. Oh yeah. Yeah. Things are gonna get way worse. I don't even know if I'll be alive in 5 years. Like, I might legitimately get fucking kidnapped by the state and put in a mental institution for being trans and never to be heard from again. Genuine fear I have. I've always had kind of a phobia of getting locked up in a mental institution. So I'm not having a great time right now, especially since literally a recent politician openly said they want all trans people rounded up and put in mental institutions. I think that was a Michigan lawmaker as well, which is the state I'm in, so that's good.
We pretty much aren't free on any platform that we post on either, because they are constantly monitoring you. And if you say one wrong thing, you get a warning, you get a strike, and then you have the chance to have your account completely removed. I mean, so we really aren't free as it is. And something else interesting about the whole 33 thing is the fact that he had 347 hats. Obviously 47 for Trump, and 47 also has ties to Freemasonry. And
Freemasons on the bingo card.
if you add up 7 and 4, you get 11. 11 times 3 is 33. So this really seems like one big energy harvesting ritual. The fact that Kash Patel came out and talked about the number 33. To be exact, the number 33 should show and tell people all that they need to know, because they love their numbers, they love their rituals, they love their scripts, and unfortunately, this is no different. These people are truly sick, and they are going to stop at nothing, and I mean nothing,
Benikagami says the conspiracy theorist not believing Cash isn't helped by the fact that he's acting suspicious as fuck. His hearings at the House and Senate were complete shit shows where he refused to answer any questions that didn't let him brag about how great a job he's doing. He literally refused to answer who are the current heads of the FBI Cybersecurity Division and Child Crime Divisions. Yeah, because he's incompetent. He's a podcaster. He has no experience working in any field even related to what he's been put in charge of. I imagine he's basically doing nothing, and the people who've actually been there for years are managing their own departments, and he's just kind of a figurehead who has no idea what the fuck's going on. That's speculative, of course. It's just the vibe I'm getting based on what I've seen.
To accomplish their goal.
Like, unironically, if the shooter had not allegedly, like, been caught out by their dad or confessed to people around him, allegedly again, I just straight up don't think they would have caught the guy. Like, I don't think they had enough to catch him without him being a complete dipshit.
So yes, we have the guy who supposedly did this in custody. The actor, or whatever you want to call this person, in custody. Oh joy! Oh joy indeed. Now, am I sitting here celebrating the fact that something happened to Charlie Kirk or anything like that? No, I'm not. Again, the character is gone. But is he really gone? I guess that's another question for another time. But this is plain as day another energy harvesting ritual. This is plain as day another one.
It's funny too, by the way, I've seen other conspiracy theorists comparing the photos of the, whatever his name is, Tyler, to like the security camera footage. They're like, that doesn't look like him. And it makes me feel like I'm taking crazy pills, because what are you talking about? It looks exactly like him. It's just him. What are you talking about? Whatever. Conspiracy theorists gonna conspiracy.
Of their sacrifices, because these people love to do this stuff over and over and over and over. And what it's going to lead to is people are going to start begging and pleading for Palantir to take over, to spy on everybody. So,
oh yeah, Palantir, this is fucked up. Things are going so bad. I don't think things are ever going to get better in my lifetime. What a bummer.
Stuff like this won't happen again.
Like, I think, how do I put this? Like, I don't think things are going to get, like, Nazi Germany bad, because we're not in that context and we have different technology. We're going to get modern Russia bad. And that's not good. That's not good at all. That's a shitty place to be. H. Baird says, well, we're on the subject. If it gets bad enough to seek asylum, plan your travel carefully. If you want to seek asylum in Denmark, for instance, make sure you get a direct flight, because if you fly through Amsterdam, you'll have to apply there instead. Basically, you have to apply in the first safe nation you enter. Nah, I'm not doing any of that. It's good info for other people, though. But I'm not doing that shit. I'm not even going to go to Canada. If society decides they don't want people like me around, I'll oblige them. That's fine. There's not much worth sticking around for anyway.
This has all been planned for years and years and years. It's all about problem, reaction, solution. And everything about this is another part of their problem, reaction, and solutions that these people constantly do over and over and over again. And this is going to give them the excuse. They're going to be like, hey, if you just let Palantir do what they do, you're not going to have to ever worry about this again. You're not, because then we pretty much can spy on you wherever. I mean, like I said, though, we are already being spied on, but this is going to be amped up on steroids, pretty much. You're going to have like these drones flying everywhere, and the list goes on, because this all eventually ties into their smart cities at that. Their smart hellholes, their smart
all right, I think he's just going to do 1984 concern trolling, so we can move on from this one. Let's see what else we've got. Here's another Kirk-spiracy. This one's short.
This is Dabu7. and I want to share with you here one of the craziest clips I have seen yet connected to this whole Charlie Kirk shooting. This is from a different angle, and this shows a guy that is sitting right out here, front left of Charlie.
This is the kind of conspiracy that I like to call reading tea leaves. There's any weird scenario happens, and then conspiracy theorists, start looking at people in the background, looking for anything that they think looks out of place. A good example of this would be the Umbrella Man in the Zapruder film, or in the JFK shooting. There was a man with an umbrella, and people found that very suspicious. Why does he have this umbrella? What's he doing with it? It wasn't weather for an umbrella. So they ended up finding the guy, and it turned out that he had it because it's basically a meme that's connected to JFK's father. Yeah, it was a political taunt that was coded in basically memes from a generation before. So whenever you see something, you're like, that's weird, you might just be seeing something and you are lacking information, and that is normally what is happening. So that's what I call, like, tea leaf reading conspiracies. You look for anything that you don't understand, and then you read into that thing. Gitara says, late to the stream, did I miss Candace Owens in her overt anti-Semitism space? No, not yet.
Charlie. And the second that Charlie shot, this guy does something super...
Can you imagine if the Zapruder film had an obnoxious influencer the whole time being like, guys, you better follow my TikTok. JFK's head just got blown off.
Suspicious, and some are claiming he has something in his hand. Some speculate a hand pistol, a handheld palm pistol that is squeezed, and he is one of the closest people to Charlie, with no one in between. Whatever he's doing, it is super suspect, and it's at the exact moment. I have to say, the timing of the movement of his hand, the gunshot, and everything else, it's all right there. And I'll run the clip.
It's not. Also, I don't know how to break this to this guy. Gunshots are incredibly loud. Like, if someone shot Kirk from that close in the middle of the crowd, everyone would have done this. The second he shot Kirk, everyone would have gone, ah! Because guns are loud. Like, I feel like this is the kind of person who's never been next to a gun being shot, or has never fired one. People would hear the bang, and before they even recognize what's happening, they would go to protect their ears because it is so loud.
Clips, you guys can see how this unfolded.
How many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Counting gang violence.
Great.
Yeah, he was adjusting his sleeve or something
Counting
along
gang
those
violence.
lines.
Great.
So do you now see what I'm talking about?
I see what you're talking about. I disagree entirely on what you're claiming about what you're seeing.
What is this sticking out from between his fingers right here? And he squeezes something. Looking
The sleeve. He's squeezing the sleeve to do this.
right at him.
Freyline says, we're in a democratic backslide. According to research around backslide, we have around a 60% chance of U-turning the backslide. The biggest determining factor is large popular movements. The only thing that's going to save ourselves. Get active. Good luck to people.
The closest person to Charlie on the same side, he was hit. Regardless if this was what shot the shot or not, this guy did something. The timing is crazy. And I gotta be honest, he has something in his hand. You can tell it's pointed right at Charlie the moment he shot. This is the closest guy to him. This is crazy. We've seen a lot of gestures and movements and a lot of talk of a larger orchestration.
Even with a suppressor, a single shot is loud enough to cause hearing damage. Yeah, I think people hear in movies and stuff. And when I was a kid, I thought this too, because I'd seen movies. This was before I'd ever shot a gun. But like, you know, you see in a movie, someone's got what they in a movie call a silencer. There's no such thing as a silencer. There are suppressors, but there's no such thing as a silencer in the literal. In like a movie or a game or something, you shoot a gun with a silencer and it's like, it's just like a little ping, pew, pew. That is not what it sounds like in real life. If you shoot a gun, and I can't show you a video because they'll demonetize if I show a gun, which is kind of funny considering the other things going on in this stream. But it makes it quieter, but like not quiet. It's still incredibly loud. And also it makes the profile of the gun much bigger, so it would be much more visible.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Yeah. This guy did something.
We've got a conspiracy theorist in chat. Is it the Bryce Cooley person? Let's see. Bryce says, a few days before Charlie Kirk's incident in Utah, he interviewed Ben Shapiro. Charlie asked him several tough questions about Israel, and Shapiro looked uncomfortable and nervous. Yeah? He should have looked uncomfortable and nervous. Israel's fucking awful with the shit they're doing right now. Are you trying to imply that because of that he was killed by the Israeli government? Because if you want to say that, just say that instead of kind of being vague about it. I think you're wrong. I think you're a conspiracy theorist, and I think that's baseless. But if you're going to say it instead of implying it. Hate this shit. Oh, he deleted the anti-Semitic comments? He had anti-Semitic comments. What a bummer.
And it is super, super suspect. Is this guy part of the whole thing here? Well, that's...
Oh, Baha deleted it. Thank you, Baha.
It's up to you guys to decide. Join me for the live show going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I'm talking about this and a whole lot more in greater detail. I hope to see you there. Much love.
I just, like, with all the conspiracy stuff about Charlie Kirk, is it that crazy to people to understand that, like, and let me be clear before I say this, I'm not getting kimmeled. I do not promote violence. I don't think anyone deserves to get shot in the neck. I don't think anyone deserves to get killed. Okay. Is it that hard to believe that if you go out very publicly for a decade and you're an inflammatory asshole, someone who's, like, maybe a little unhinged might take a shot at you? Like, is that a crazy narrative to people? I don't think it is. I think that makes sense to me. When I saw and heard it happen, I went like, yeah, like, it's not great that it happened, but, like, if you're gonna publicly go out every day for a decade and be incredibly abrasive and, like, attack people, make life more dangerous for people... Like, is that crazy that happened? No, it's really not. Freyline says, in World War II, U.S. spies used handheld crossbows for quiet killings. They were called Little Joe. Okay, I can't even tell if that's true or not. Let's take a break. Let's take a break from the Kirk thing for a second and we'll move on to some sillier conspiracy.
What if I told you that I am a human-alien hybrid?
I believe you.
No, I wasn't born in a test tube on an alien ship. I wasn't abducted and experimented.
Trey says, in the days that followed it happening, I was talking to my mom, and I know she doesn't know a single thing about him, but she just kept saying, I don't know how anyone could have done that to a father, and all she knew about him were a handful of clips that were being spread around Facebook of him, like, owning the idea of reparations or some shit like that. That's crazy to me that people don't acknowledge that he would have generated strong emotions. I think that there's some people who just like to live in a comfortable bubble where nothing is real and everything is fine all the time and there are no serious problems and nothing bad ever happens, and it's just, why did you do that? Why? I don't know how to describe it. I'd have to think about it more to come up with a comprehensive definition of what I'm thinking about. But a kind of person who self-soothes to the point that they are in a bubble that distorts reality around them to always being comfortable.
Experimented on or implanted with alien tech devices. I was transformed on an energetic level over the course of at least 6 months by higher
Well, there you go. It takes 6 months to become half alien. Good to know.
dimensional light beings from other worlds and other dimensions who would visit me on a daily basis and transmit energy into my body, mind, and energy systems. And they changed me. In June of 2022, after making successful contact with extraterrestrials through CE5 protocols, higher dimensional extraterrestrials visited me.
We can do aliens did it on the bingo card, by the way, for this. Aliens turned him into a hybrid. We'll count that. Reptilians, we did have reptilians earlier. Because someone claimed Gina was a reptilian.
Almost every day and night for at least 6 months. During those visits, they would do intense work on my energy body.
Also, by the way, anyone watching the VOD later, I'm sorry I'm streaming earlier today. I'm in a weird emotional place today. My hormones are kind of all over the place. I have an appointment next week to get them checked after my orchiectomy. You know, I already had the orchiectomy, but I haven't had my hormones checked. And I'm in a weird place, and I don't know if it's just the hormones, or the new antidepressants I'm on, or the stuff in the world, or likely a weird combination of the three. But I just needed to stream early today. Also, I've given myself a 10-day deadline on the Medbed video. So if I don't get that video out in 10 days, the consequences will be dire for me. Emotionally. So, keep an eye out for that.
Meridians, spinal.
Good news about the VA, they're still providing you with HRT. Oh, fuck yeah, that's good news. That's good. Very good.
Column.
Congrats.
And chakras. So, I had no idea what the heck was going on. I had never heard of anything like this before. This is not something that I even believed could possibly exist. I simply saw a movie called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, the one that Dr. Stephen Greer made, having to do with human-initiated contact with extraterrestrials. And the things I saw in that film, I said...
Viz with a $3 tip says, no message, just a cuppa. Thank you. Thank you for the tip.
If that's true, I have to experience that. And I went out of my way to either prove...
Yeah, we could do poor understanding of Eastern religion for the chakras thing.
...that it was true or that it was nonsense. And it turned out to be true. Now, what ended up happening to me was simultaneously the most amazing, the most bizarre, the most beautiful, the most blissful, and at the same time, the most traumatic experience I've ever had. Because it completely, totally shattered my understanding, not only of my reality, but of my understanding of who I am and my connection to everything in the universe. I thought that this is what they did to everyone who did CE5.
Okay. I think we've gotten enough of him. Let's move on. Chitara says, ironically, despite Kirk's racist remarks about black folks, Candace Owens is pretty much the only former colleague of Kirk's that isn't trying to turn a profit from his death, at least since last I checked. I mean, she's making videos about it. She's made multiple videos about it, so she's certainly making a profit, and her videos are getting millions of views on this. Like her video live stream that yeah, the big one that's her talking about Netanyahu has almost 8 million views from 2 days ago. So, well, she may genuinely have feelings for Kirk. I do want to point out, let's not act like she's not making money here. 8 million views on one video, and she's made multiple sends them about the same topic, so, you know.
Hi everybody, welcome to today's show, Forbidden Tech. We're going to be talking today about the biodigital convergence, cyber-physical systems of control.
Oh, okay, believe sci-fi technology exists on the bingo card? I guess?
And we're going to be talking about it in a way that is easy to understand and friendly. And if you want to learn about the biodigital convergence, this is a great place to start. And of course, as always, there'll be a blog.
The vultures have been picking his corpse since the moment he passed. Jeremy did like 4 to 5 videos a day about Kirk. Oh, I've seen. It's his new Candace Owens. It's crazy. Like, I'm not even surprised. The Quartering's been desperate for views for a while. He's been doing very badly in terms of views, like, in the last year. Like, even other right-wingers and chuds are making fun of him. In particular, a group called Kino Casino. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're chud shit posters who have a show where they just, like, mock people. It's like a shock jock type deal. One of the guys even has a little bell that he fucking rings, like it's 1996. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, so they've been doing content about the Quartering and making fun of him. So he's a joke even amongst a lot of right-wing circles. So of course he's jumping on the Kirk thing. He's a cynical monster. Phoenix Leftist with 1,000 bits says, "You're awesome, Hannah. We all need this chill, safe space. Thank you." I'm sorry. I'm doing really bad at being a safe space today because I'm dealing with my own problems, and I am not hiding them even a little bit. And I am so sorry. I will try to be better. I'm just having a hard time, you know? I'm just having a hard time. But it's still my job to host this show, so I don't need to be putting that stuff on you guys.
Blog post associated with this, with all the source documentation links in the blog post, so that you can go and read all these documents for yourself. So with that said, let's dive in.
Right, so biodigital convergence is the same as transhumanism and is equated to the control grid that's being erected all around us.
Oh, look at that. They made a PowerPoint and everything.
The biodigital convergence is the converging of digital technologies with biological systems, driven by advancements in the fields like engineering, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and information technology.
The biodigital convergence is a change of our global society that's being implemented on citizens by our own governments through advanced technology. It affects our health, our food, our water.
I should point out that these two have a business together. I think it might function like an MLM. I'm not positive, though. It's been a while since I covered them. And they basically sell quote-unquote solutions to this problem. So their audience historically has been people who have the psychosomatic condition where they believe that like Wi-Fi signals or other electromagnetic radiation harms them. Think Chuck from Better Call Saul, how he thinks that electricity hurts him. That's a real psychosomatic condition that some people have. And unfortunately, because human beings are grifters by nature, there's always someone there to sell them a solution to their psychosomatic problem. So they'll sell, you know, things you plug in and like, oh, it blocks all the radiation, but it doesn't really do anything. It just makes you feel better because it's a placebo. So it's a grift, basically. It's a big grift. Orion Cooper says, would it help if you are our catharsis? Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't know what catharsis feels like. I've never felt it once in my entire life. There's just a constant building suspense that never releases.
Our living environment, our money, and our freedoms.
Now, the mega-rich companies in the industry control politicians and enforce the biodigital convergence onto the public in a way that bypasses all local laws and or constitutions. It's the beast system. And the Bible says,
oh, mark of the beast on the bingo cards.
Who can stand against the beast?
This image that you're looking at on this slide here comes from the IEC Biodigital Convergence Standardization Opportunities. There are loads of documents put out by the industry over the past many years, actually. They've been building up to this for a long time. And you'll be able to go and read these documents for yourself. They're all publicly available and open sourced. As long as you can understand the terminology that they use, you'll have a better understanding of what this is that we're talking about and why it's probably...
Why did conspiracy theorists only recently start referring to the beast as a system? I've heard it for a while. It just depends. And yes, scamming shilling on the bingo card.
The most important thing that we should be discussing today is these larger plans that have been going on for almost a century, I'd say, right?
Yes,
yeah.
long time.
So we're going to talk about a few of these documents. The source of our information that we're giving you here, we get this information and much of the terminology used in our presentations from the emerging technology industry, which encompasses governments, universities, scientists, medical professionals, and
I'm sorry, you're citing, quote, governments, universities, science, like these aren't citations. They're gesturing towards the idea of a citation, but you're not actually citing what governments, what universities, what scientists, what medical professionals and engineers. You can't just say, everything I'm saying is backed up by all authority. That's effectively what they're saying. Okay.
engineers around the world.
So who's in charge of the biodigital convergence? The International Organization for Standards, or ISO, and the International Electrotechnical Commission, IEC, develops, maintain, and promotes standards for this field.
Oh my god, that's just like important in general for like electrical devices, having and making sure that there are standards across borders for a lot of these electrical devices keeps people safe, right? Like, we need these standards and stuff to make sure someone doesn't buy something from another country and plug it into their wall and it explodes because it wasn't set up for the correct, like, amperage or voltage or whatever from that particular country. Oh, God.
We've also got Policy Horizons Canada, which spearheads Canada's strategic foresight work and policy dialogue on the topic. And we've got the Israel Innovative Authority, which is the public agency that is spearheading efforts to establish Israel as a global hub for biodigital convergence.
Okay, we could probably say thinly veiled anti-Semitism for that one. I don't like the Israeli government. They're committing a genocide in Gaza. But, like, usually when conspiracy theorists randomly bring up Israel, it's not because they have really strong opinions on Palestine, necessarily. Usually it's a dog whistle. I'm gonna go with that here. So, thinly veiled.
And we're going to show you a video in just a moment here so you can see what Israel has, the part that Israel, the state of Israel, is playing. Just if you didn't want to take our word for it, why don't you take the word of the people that are actually doing this?
And as a reminder, the emerging tech is a multi-trillion-dollar industry with limitless amounts of money and power.
The Mystic Dragon. Jitara says, last thing I'll say about Kirk, I unfortunately came across Kirk AI slop on Twitter Reddit. People are either generating videos of him with angel wings flying up to heaven, or his dodging the bullet, or porn of his widow having sex, exclusively with black men, for racist reasons, I assume. Ew. There's almost no in-between. One is a sort of morbid digital necromancy, and the other is illegal. Why are humans so gross? Why are we like this? Why are people like this? Everyone is so fucking nasty. We're disgusting. We are such disgusting ape hominid monsters. We're just nasty fucking animals playing in the mud. Ugh. I just can't.
To push forward the biodigital convergence, which again is why we call it the beast system.
The medical revolution is in full swing. All fields of medicine are changing, improving, renewing. The past year showed us that the growing need for innovative technologies used in developing more precise, personalized medicines and treatments is already becoming reality. Among the leaders of this revolution is Israel.
The Israeli high-tech environment is one of the leading environments or ecosystems that can enable this.
Oh, don't turn the camera the other direction. You'll see us bombing children. Fenakagami says, when the Kirk was shot, I told my mom there was no guarantee the shooter was left-leaning. In fact, there was a fair chance he was a fan of Kirk. And when she asked why would a fan shoot him, I pointed out obsessed fans trying to hurt subjects of their affection all the time. About the bubble thing, the terrifying thing about the coming collapse, that Trump's building a nation-sized echo chamber so his administration can ignore the economic and societal collapse. Oh, well, that's a lot. That's a lot. Let's stop talking about Kirk now for a while. What have they done to us? What did they do to us? That's still my favorite I think you should leave clip. Hold on. By the way, I saw the movie Friendship. It was great. And also horrifying. Has anyone ever heard of a favorite person cycle? Horror movie, if you're familiar. It's enough of me talking about that, though.
Dog.
I gotta play you the what did they do to us?
Fuck was happening? That's real. I thought I was gonna get eaten. I'm not a stupid fucking idiot.
Where is it?
And when you think you're gonna get eaten and your first thought is, great, I don't have to go to work tomorrow. You're relieved you don't have to go to work because you thought you were gonna get eaten? What the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us?
What have they done to us? What did they do to us? That's pretty good.
We have some of the best scientists in the world.
People think outside the box and look for creative solutions to problems.
Yes, Israel is an international center of innovation with groundbreaking technologies in health, in cyber,
In bombs, in missiles, in new propaganda techniques.
in smart transportation.
We get it, we get it. Let's go back to their stupid conspiracy presentation. We get it. I don't like the nation of Israel.
Provides
of biocon.
Wow, that's a long fucking ad.
All right, wasn't that something?
Yes.
They seemed so happy and proud of the accomplishments that they are achieving.
Yes.
But when we watch something like that, we feel very differently about the message that's going out because we understand what this technology is doing to humanity. The next slide here, we're showing you an industrial technology timeline. We're going to do a separate video that goes through all of these different areas more in depth, but we just wanted to show this to you because
No, not accidentally based. They mean it in a Nazi way. Fede Kagami says, on Israel, one of my state senators has been doing great. He visited Israel to bring evidence back to the Senate to try and force them to acknowledge the genocide, and he's currently calling Dem leaders cowards for not endorsing Mamdani. Oh, good.
The industry timeline for the development of this beast system, it spans over decades. It has been implemented across world leaders, across administrations, and on both sides of political parties.
Yes, absolutely.
And the reason why we say this is because today's conversations very often get hung up in politics. They get hung up in this leader, this administration.
Ma'am, this is still politics. Even if you think it's nonpartisan, it's still politics. Stephen J. Neptune Man with 40 months. Thank you very much.
And we want to take this conversation out of that political.
You literally cannot. It's political what you are claiming. You cannot say you think that they are trying to have the states of the world, the countries of the world, create a surveillance system in order to look at every citizen and, like, big brother them, and you can't say that's not political. You mean partisan. You're claiming it's nonpartisan. It's incredibly political what you're saying. God, America politics has just broken everyone's brain. They don't know what anything is.
Conversation. We're going to be talking about, presidents and different actions that were passed and executive orders that were passed because these are events that happen, but we are focusing on the industry as a whole.
We're focusing on the industry, and we're also inviting the audience to look at what we're talking about in a broader context over the period of decades to bring into perspective exactly how long this has been in development and how the football has been carried on from generation to generation to this present day to make sure that their dream of a control grid is fulfilled.
And, we've done many videos in the past that talk about us personally and our background. We've worked in this industry, not at these levels of the industry, but we do work with emerging technologies or energy.
Again, the thing they're claiming gives them, like, domain-specific information is they manufacture and sell bullshit anti-energy devices for conspiracy theorists. They don't know dipshit. They don't know shit from dip. They know nothing. H. Barrett says, over the weekend there was a conspiracy theory floating around that Charlie Kirk was killed by a secret council of trans people, and here's an artist's rendering. Alright, that made me laugh. Fair enough.
Technologies as well, which kind of overlaps into the industry. So we've got experience in this.
Well, I think we also have experience being on the receiving end of some of the things that other people have been put through, as it maybe as a precursor to what they have planned to control the population.
Yeah, so it's through our background, our education, and our own personal experiences in life that has brought us to the place where we have been deeply researching this information. We are members of the IEEE because we work on energy projects, so we need access to some of the documentation that's on there that you can't get for free, that you do have to, some of these papers are very expensive, right?
She's making it sound like that's impressive. You just have to sign up and pay for it, right?
And some of them only cost $33.
Yeah, so there's all different reasons. So that's our background a little bit. So you know where this information is coming from, and who's presenting this to you. So you can see here the timeline.
They seem sedated. They're the kind of woo-woo where it wouldn't surprise me if they took an edible before this or something.
Starts from 1956. I mean, it goes back further than that, but that's when...
Okay, let me look at this timeline. It just... it's literally just a timeline of like, different technologies? So it says in 1956, biosensors were created. 1982, drone warfare in Israel. 1990, net-centric warfare. So they're literally just listing, including in 2009, they listed cryptocurrency begins. So they're just listing what they perceive to be major technological innovations in a variety of different fields, and then presumably we're supposed to connect these, or they're going to connect them in a way that services as a narrative that pushes their idea. Okay, I see.
When biosensors were first created, they were later developed in the 60s, and it brings you through all the different years so you can see what point in time each of these events happen and how old all of these different technologies are. Like, if you're just hearing about things like AI data centers right now, you'll see that they've been in the works for a very long time. And
data centers, yes. AI data centers, no.
we show you this
Not in the way that you're discussing.
timeline. And again, we'll go through this in more in depth in a separate video so that you can go and see. I made a list with all the different links that shows you all the background information on each one of these points in time on the industry technology timeline. Now, before we go into explaining the biodigital convergence and the bigger plan for it, we just put this list together because we're talking about all the different kinds of technologies that are coming from a field called emerging technologies. They've been developed, they're emerging out into the public use.
That's just a broad definition for, like, any new bleeding edge technology, right? It's not like a unified field. It's just out of any technology that's new. Weird.
But this is just a limited list.
Oh my god, they got the metaverse on there. Hasn't Facebook even, like, dropped the whole metaverse, like, in their marketing and stuff? Like, they're still called Meta. But, like, are they still pushing to try and claim the metaverse is going to be a thing? Jesus.
Of biodigital convergence emerging technologies. And you'll see things that you might have been hearing lately. And
blockchain and cryptocurrency are listed separately, by the way. And I know you can use blockchain for things that are not cryptocurrency, but I do find it funny that they were clearly trying to really fill up this list.
The news.
Wait, why is lab cultured meat on this list?
Especially in the last...
And wait, augmented reality and the metaverse are separate, okay?
Few years. So artificial...
I'd put those close enough that they should probably be under the same category.
intelligence, gene
I know it's a VR versus AR thing, but still.
therapy, mRNA, nanotechnology, regenerative medicine, the metaverse, biosensors.
Sensor networks, 6G cellular communications, biometrics, optical computing, quantum
Internet of bodies, the Internet of Things,
Just
autonomous
listing.
weapons,
Just listing.
swarm roboting, molecular
particular niches that we're talking about in themselves aren't inherently bad. They're merely tools.
All right, I think we can move on. Let's do the stupid Candace Owens thing. Okay. I don't know how much of this we're going to get through. I'm going to be honest. I do not know how much I can stomach of this today, but we will try, shall we?
All right, you guys.
Hydrate, will do. Also, I will say this, in terms of good things that happened yesterday after work, I worked the last 2 days. I worked like 2 12-hour days, which isn't fun back to back, but whatever, I need the money. Ratscallion, thanks for following. Yesterday after work, I wasn't feeling good. Still not feeling good, but I wasn't yesterday either. And, Baja took me to a cheese store that opened. A new cheese shop opened, and it was glorious. And I got garlic Gouda and Mimolette. Any Frenchies out there? Mimolette's the best. Thanks, France. You did a good. Anyway, the cheesemonger there is very nice. She's very knowledgeable about the cheeses.
All right, you guys, we're going to jump right into this with no introduction. There's a lot that I would like to speak with you guys about. Can't wait to hear your feedback. A lot of lies that are being put out there, narratives that I would say are half-truths or just misrepresentations entirely. And I don't really see the reason for that. First and foremost, to let you know, last week was not a dream. Charlie Kirk, my friend, is dead.
Funny she didn't say nightmare. She said dream.
And he was publicly executed. I want to make that clear. Charlie Kirk was publicly executed before the world.
He was killed. I would even say I understand people calling it an assassination because there were almost certainly political motives. Executed implies some... Well, she'll get into it. She'll get into it.
And as we are all searching for answers, the ones that are being supplied to us are not making a lot of sense. And some people, I would say...
You plan on visiting a cheese museum in a couple weeks? You're so lucky. Send me pictures.
Are speaking
or post them on the Discord.
Much. Are speaking on behalf of other people. I don't like it. I will say something that I think brought the world a lot of relief, also, sadness. We were grieving with her, was when his wife, Mrs. Erica Kirk...
When she came out and was foaming at the mouth and asking for trans people and leftists to have their heads put on a spike. I think that was very comforting for everyone.
Addressed not just the nation, but the entire world. Her words were very powerful. And we just have a very brief portion of her remarks, which you should pursue in their entirety. But here she is.
If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just...
When did Mattel release Fascist Barbie?
...have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
She's going to be their next presidential candidate? No. Republicans can't vote for a woman. Fedekagami says, get ready to hear more about transhumanism. Peter Thiel is a transhumanist in all the ways conspiracy theorists fearmonger about. He was once asked point blank if preserving humanity is an admirable goal, and his answer was, not really. We need to transcend humanity, not preserve it. There's a lot of problems with humanity that we can fix with technology. I paraphrase, but that was basically his answer. I'm glad we have very stable people without any severe personality disorders in charge of society. Gitara says, Hannah, if you're ever in Farmington, there's a small cheese shop called Dulcetto that I recommend. Though grain of salt, my lactose-intolerant ass isn't very versed in cheese tasting, so it could be mid. I'm telling you, Lactaid. Lactaid, Dairy Aid, there's name brand. If you're lactose intolerant, I don't know if you guys know this, I don't handle dairy very well, but you take Lactaid, helps a ton. So anyone out there who's like, I wish I could have ice cream or cheese, but I'm not good with lactose, look into Lactaid. It's a medication. You take it right before whatever you're gonna eat's dairy. Fixes you right up.
To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die.
We will continue to dog whistle about black people not being qualified for any positions a white person can do, and trying to get trans people to kill themselves.
It won't. I refuse.
What a hero.
To let that happen. It will not die.
Beautiful, powerful words. Charlie had just one wife. What we got to see across this weekend is that there were so many people around the world, like she said, who were deeply moved by Charlie Kirk throughout their lives and, of course, have been deeply moved by this tragedy. And what she is describing there, that fire, a lot of us are feeling it. I am definitely feeling it. I had a very...
Yes, Hannah mentions cheese on the bingo card.
Tough weekend. A very tough weekend. I will say this. My entire life, I've not been much of a crier. It is not my choice emotion. I'm not a person who bursts into tears, and some people are like that. This weekend, I didn't just cry. I wept. I wept for Charlie, obviously. I didn't make it through the tribute to him on Friday. And for those of you who wanted to see me in a moment of weakness, that was delivered to you. Fair. Yeah, I watched my friend get shot in the neck. Yeah,
that feels weird, man. If you're gonna cry about it, that's great. That's fine. That's your thing. I do not care.
That's what happened. I just want to say that he was publicly executed again before the world. The question is why, right?
Probably because, he said stuff that, pissed people off all the time, and he was disrespectful to people, and, a big turd. Again, didn't deserve to get shot, didn't deserve to get killed, but again, I am confounded by their confusion. I do not understand what they don't understand, right? I'm just thinking, universe forbid, if something similar happened to Hassan, I'd be like, oh shit! But also I'd be like, I get why that happened, right? If you were a public figure that goes out and says things that piss off thousands, if not millions of people on a daily basis, is it that confounding? You can be upset about it. I understand being upset. Are you confused, though? Why is it confusing?
When you are in a state of grief, you go through a lot of emotions, and I'm arriving right now at a lot of anger. The audacity of some people. It has taken much restraint and prayer, and I had to speak with a priest. I had to go to confession.
She Catholic? God damn.
These emotions that I am having, wanting to respond with Charlie in his own words, really. People.
Pulls up clip of Charlie Kirk saying the worst shit ever.
That are coming forward and saying this is what he thought and this is how he should be remembered. It just feels really inappropriate to me. I didn't know what to do other than to scroll through messages between me and Charlie, regarding which there are a ton of them. And
Amber says, we're not trying to be cruel, but that didn't feel genuine. Who talks like this? Echo around the world as a battle cry. What? We feel like Republicans are so universally antisocial and emotionally stunted that they can't express genuine sadness. Even when trying, it comes off as stilted and performative. Yeah, I think a lot of it just turns into anger. That's the thing with a lot of Republicans and right-wing people in general is I don't think they know how to process their emotions very well, in particular men who are Republicans don't process emotions very well, and it all just gets funneled into anger because it's the only thing they can express without feeling like they're pussies or being afraid men around them are gonna think they're less than men. It's really weird.
I kept going back and watching the many videos of us dancing to the song Power, and it felt appropriate to reach out to Ye, speaking about things, talking about his mode when he wrote the song. You know, when you wrote the song Power, why did we have it as our hype song? Because the song is about the ability to find it within yourself to become what you know you are capable of becoming inside of a matrix, when you just realize everything is
Matrix on the bingo card.
Honest, that everything is performative, that people are dishonest, that they are going to try to
And as we know, Charlie Kirk was never performative or dishonest.
stop you from being great. In fact, it's the end of the song, the question that he asks at the end of the song, that's the most important. Ye asks, do you have the...
Oh my god, wait, she's quoting Kanye? The guy who said he liked Hitler and espoused Nazi ideology alongside public neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes? Oh, boy!
the power to let power go? Do you have the power to say no to power? You know, I told you guys that Charlie was going through a spiritual transformation at the end, and all of the usual suspects were really angry that I hinted towards that. What do you mean? You're not allowed to say that. They were attacking me, trying to make me fearful, to speak out and speak about the things that I know. I'm not feeling very fearful right now. I am, like I said, very angry.
We did have Mark of the Beast, Zytam.
And I found, Charlie's favorite portion of the song. I'll show you the text between him and I, because this feels very relevant right now. This is, again, lyrics directly from the song Power, but I just needed time alone with my own thoughts.
Can we skip to the conspiracy part? I don't want to hear about this, to be honest.
So let's at first listen to what Bibi Netanyahu just
Here we go.
one day.
Zytam with a bingo. Matrix, Mark of the Beast, Free Space, Poor Understanding of Eastern Philosophy, and False Flag. That is a big winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I will write down your name, Zytam, because that's the official bingo winner today.
Less than 24 hours after.
We will continue to play for fun. Let me find a pen. Where is my pen? Gift it. Easy enough.
Charlie died. What Bibi Netanyahu had to say.
She thinks he was going to convert to him. She was going to convert him to Catholicism, and that's why Israel killed him, by the way. No way!
On Fox News. Take a listen.
We're just heartbroken. Myself, my wife, my family, my...
Also, can I ask, I didn't realize they brought on Netanyahu, the leader of a whole ass country, to ask about a fucking podcaster. The last week has made me feel insane. Like, how do I put this? The wag the dog, the manufactured consent around all of this has just given me a stroke. Let me tell you. Holy shit. This has been nuts.
Son, actually, on his 2019 visit to Israel, had lunch with him and his wife, Erica. We're shattered first as human beings because a great human being has been taken from us.
Famously, Netanyahu cares very deeply about human beings being killed.
He was an extraordinary friend. He said...
All right, the random gift sub went to... where did it go? Someone.
He wrote me a letter on...
Hank Boozle.
On May 2nd this year.
Midnight X, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says nothing feels real anymore. Oh, yeah. I'm like, dead internet theory is... Woo!
He said, one of my greatest joys as a Christian is advocating for Israel and forming alliances to defend Judeo-Christian civilization.
Judeo-Christian.
A few weeks before the tragedy yesterday, I called him and I spoke to him and I said, please come to Israel. I invited him to Israel.
Hydrate.
And sadly, that visit will not take place. But he was a defender of our common Judeo-Christian civilization. He was unbelievably excited to walk in the footsteps of Jesus here. He valued our bond, the bond between America and Israel.
This is such fucking, oh my god, the blatant, and again, no, Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk, but the fact that he's like, I care very deeply about our shared Judeo-Christian values. Fuck off. Fuck off. He is playing the Fox News audience so hard of like, yeah, I care very deeply about your personal culture wars and all your Christian values and Jesus. I'm a big fan of Jesus.
You know, he did so many things to
Sorry, Fennikagami. Fennikagami says, you don't understand, they're the good guys, nothing bad is supposed to happen to them, not really. This is just a game to them, so nothing they say is serious. The feelings they hurt aren't supposed to matter, that's why their anger is funny to them, because they think we're crazy for taking them seriously. Their actions aren't supposed to have consequences. Well, maybe they'll learn.
defend free speech.
Actions do have consequences, actually. Most of the time.
He had his truth, he stood up for it, but he said, you can come and debate me. He invited that debate. He certainly didn't invite the violence, the horrible violence that tried to silence him. And you know, this is a worldwide problem.
Remember when Charlie Kirk literally said that some people dying in shootings is just the cost of the Second Amendment? Don't know why I brought that up. Overthought says, I think part of everyone treating Kirk as a politician lies in the fact that right-wingers don't look for people with actual political training to be leaders. Trump was a reality star and a real estate person. Cash wasn't police or intelligence. Effectively, Kirk was a politician who was killed because the right just says he was. Oh, I guess.
The people on the...
I would call him a political operative and a propagandist. I would not call him a politician, if that makes sense.
You know, on the extremes, the Islamists, the radical Islamists.
A politician is someone who runs for office or tries to hold political office. A political operative is someone who is a little snake that slinks in that system and is a part of it, but not really officially a part of it. You know what I mean?
And their union with the ultra-progressives, they often speak about human rights. They speak about free speech, but they use violence to try to take down their enemies, whether it's President Trump, who's been almost assassinated twice, or, you know, they try to kill me here too. But they got Charlie Kirk, and it's just heartbreaking.
I'm sorry, did he just try and blame Islam? Am I crazy? When he was talking about, like, quote-unquote radical Islam, and then he's moving into this, did Netanyahu imply that Charlie Kirk was killed by Muslims? Nothing's real anymore, man. Everything's fucking ridiculous.
Who is they, BB? Who is they who got Charlie Kirk? We don't have to actually speak conspiracies. I'm just wondering, because you said a lot there, but it really sounded like it was about BB trying to establish a narrative that we saw reinforced by a lot of people, that, you know, Charlie kind of made it almost sound like he died for Israel. I mean, Trump's account even tweeted out a photo of Charlie and an American flag and also an Israeli flag, a bit of AI used, you know, like this is just who Charlie was. He says
Islam and progressives working together. Famously, fundamentalist Muslims and political progressives get along great. They believe all the same things for sure.
Christian values. He spoke to him 2 weeks ago. Again, you would think he was busy fighting this 97,000 front war, but no, he's letting you know that he just randomly, picks up the phone and calls Charlie Kirk and invites him to Israel? Why would BB do that? It seems like maybe there's a little more to the story. No, there definitely is a little bit more to the story. First and foremost, that letter he is holding up, he is severely misrepresenting. Those sentences are real, but I am calling upon Bibi Netanyahu, the dear friend to Charlie Kirk, to publish the letter's entire contents. Like, don't start with just 2 sentences. Publish the entire thing. You're holding it. I'm saying you're severely misrepresenting the contents that in May, Charlie was concerned about Israel and their influence on American politics and how they were pushing things that he felt were in conflict with his beliefs, free speech here in America. Bibi's holding it up like Charlie just in May said, hey, you know what? I just want to write a love letter to Israel. That's how it was presented. Would you guys agree? That's not how
You're confused what she's getting at? She's gonna blame Israel and claim that Charlie Kirk was murdered by the Israeli government.
happened. Now, regarding that phone,
How does she like Charlie? He hated black people? I mean, she might too. She's also incredibly cynical. If you look at Candace Owens' history, pretty sure she just says whatever she has to say to have an audience that watches her and gives her money. So
call and that invite, that also needs to be contextualized. And I'm going to do that. But first, Skylar, can we bring in a clip of Charlie from a month ago speaking about the kind of pressure that he was under? Because I think that will also help to further contextualize this. Take a listen.
I'm an American citizen. Yes, I want Israel to win. Yes, I'm a Christian. But like some of the mess, and you've seen how I've been treated, Megan, by some, not all, by some.
No, it's very irritating.
It's
been
almost
so
as if
unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. Again, I just want to repeat for the 5th time. I love Israel. I want Israel to win. But my moral character is now being put into question, Megan. Not my decisions. Not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb?
God forbid anyone question Charlie Kirk's moral character. We all know he had so much of it.
But no, I am a bad person if I do this. And I could go, I mean, you saw it, Megan. It was trending on Twitter, thousands of tweets and text messages. And if I were to be charitable and generous, I will say, the people that are attacking me are in a hyper-paranoid state because they're at war, and war tends to make things black and white, and you're a hammer looking for a nail. So I'm trying to be charitable, Megan. Literally, I'm trying to cut as much slack as I can, right? Like, okay, what would it be like if all of a sudden I'm starting to see a pattern of behavior similar to what my grandparents saw in 1930s Germany online? How would I behave? So that's like my charitable kind of overcompensation spirit. At the same time, I'm like, but it's not defensible to be dumb, right?
No, it's not defensible to be dumb. And he was under.
Again, this isn't Chud Watch. I'm not here necessarily to talk about the political angle, but these two saying that it's not defensible to be dumb. That's peak ironic, right?
An increasing amount of pressure, not just people telling him, oh, well, you know, I'm upset with who you're inviting, but flat out telling him that he was not allowed to invite certain people to his events. They were threatening to pull out money. Charlie was getting a lot of really nasty text messages, and many of them pertaining to Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. But Tucker Carlson was really the focus when it came to America Fest. How could Charlie allow these debates about Israel to take place? How could he allow Dave Smith, who, by the way, is Jewish, how could how could Charlie allow this other position to meet the stage? Because obviously when people start to hear the debates, what Dave Smith is saying sounds so rational, but it was up to Charlie to not allow those things to happen. And that amount of pressure towards the end, as you see that conversation he had with Meghan was just a month before he lost his life, really, I would say, reached a pinnacle of sorts on the matter of what Tucker Carlson actually said on that stage. Tucker Carlson, while he was on that stage at Turning Point, brought up Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman is a billionaire.
He also did a big short. This is from years ago. This is a documentary. I'm getting off track. But Bill Ackman tried to get Herbalife basically bankrupted and failed, unfortunately. Ackerman is a big piece of shit in many other ways, but he tried that. So that was good. He's still a big piece of shit, though.
Obviously, he is also an extremely litigious billionaire. And Bill Ackman was on Charlie about comments that Tucker Carlson had made on that stage. Tucker Carlson specifically asked the question, where does Bill Ackman's money come from? You know, who is this guy? Actually, who is this guy that has this much influence? And like I said, Bill Ackman was not happy about this. And so I would like to contextualize Bibi. Again, these are things Bibi brought up publicly, which he didn't have to. He didn't have to bring up the letter. He didn't have to bring up the phone call, but he chose to do this less than 24 hours after Charlie Kirk was shot. Personally, Bibi, I would have appreciated if you guys used all of your spyware, you've been spying on us for years, to maybe track down the killer. But I guess this is where you thought it was best to do a little propaganda for Israel would be better than us helping us track down the killer. But anyway, so Bibi Netanyahu and that phone call.
I don't know what to say about that one. Fight, 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 fight. Fennec Kagami says it's fucked how hard it is to talk about how our country's relationship to Israel without slipping into anti-Semitism. It's disgusting how much our media has to treat Israel like a god they can't criticize, and it's disgusting how much fealty our politicians show to Israel. I know Israel is just the figurehead, but the real loyalty is to the military-industrial complex, but still. Oh yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's incredibly fucked up.
What took place was a couple of weeks ago, before Charlie lost his life. Charlie was in the Hamptons, and he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman, because Charlie's thoughts, Charlie's rational thoughts.
Why does she keep calling him BB? It's his nickname, B-I-B-I. I don't know why.
About Israel.
I don't know if like his middle name starts with a B or something, or if he even has a middle name. No idea.
We're a no-no. This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote-unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset, and threats were made. That is what I am told, and I will
It's meant to make him endearing. Grandpa can be BB. Oh! So it's like saying like Papa, or like, oh, that's disgusting. I didn't realize the connotations of that. I just thought it was like a nickname, like, oh, you know. Oh, I hate that. No head of state should ever have a nickname like that. That's disgusting.
Tell you that I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you. And he did not provide the receipts. This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way. I'm waiting for one of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way. It was at this time that
okay, Trey says that's not why, and I tend to trust Trey, so I'm going to go with Trey's on this.
Netanyahu was,
unless someone else has actual evidence,
called, and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress.
Why do people just say shit at me?
Situation, I would say, because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the...
Because it's what you were told? All right. It's just a telephone game. What a shame.
Very same...
I hate being a human.
Pressure.
If reincarnation is real, I hope in the next life I get to be part of a species that isn't social at all. What's a completely non-social species? Something that just you get born and you fuck off and you never see another one of your species ever again.
And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. You know, I gotta tell you that. It felt like a...
Polar bears? Good, I'll be a polar bear. That'll be good.
Threat. Like, not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More like, this is your last chance. That's how it felt to me. I can't speak to how it felt to Charlie. And I know that Charlie.
Oh yeah, she's full on gonna claim that Israel had him killed. Holy shit, how many views? This has almost 8 million views. Oh my god. Oh, I am so conflicted. On the one hand, I don't want conspiracy theories to flourish. On the other hand, if it stops even 1% of Republicans from trying to blame trans people, ooh, ooh. I don't know what to do with this one, chat. I'm having complicated feelings.
He was offered a ton of money in this moment. A ton of money. Bibi would fund it, you know? Spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding. That Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this as like, you know, re-education camp, you know. We've
All right, we will continue this in a sec. I gotta use the bathroom. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about the 90s Oscar-snubbed Biodome. Before I stand up, I said this at the beginning of the stream, but in case anyone wasn't here, I am wearing shorts under this. They are just flesh-toned. But when I stand up and you see the terrible tutu that came with this, you might not notice the shorts, and you might be like, holy shit, Hannah's not wearing pants. I am. They're just pink. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
You've seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you. You know, we just need you to come out to Auschwitz and take a picture. Yeah? We just need you to come to the Holocaust Museum and take a photo.
Does she think that Auschwitz is in Israel because she's talking about Charlie Kirk going to Israel? Does she think Auschwitz is in Israel? Like, certainly, I'm sure there's Holocaust museums in Israel. That's not where Auschwitz is. Pretty sure that's in Poland.
We just need you to go to Israel, and we can make this better. Charlie said no to Bibi. Okay. Bill Ackman, if you would like to dispute that, I would love to hear what you say happened, because our sources and what we have, it's solid. Okay. There were conversations that took place, messages that were sent at that time, and they are solid. So I decided another person that was there, and I am not surprised this person was there. If you've been listening to my show, Seth Dillon, I was going to go out to Seth Dillon, and I decided to message him last night about this Hamptons meeting. And Seth Dillon, who is normally very quick with a response, has not yet been able to respond. I'll show you this text message chain. And I want to be clear, I am not someone who normally publicizes text messages. But my friend was shot in the neck. And I'm just not really in the state right now to be polite.
I see why this got 8 million views. I think everything she's saying is bullshit. And even I find this thoroughly entertaining. Holy shit.
When it comes
like this is some drama. This is some drama between a YouTuber and the state of Israel.
The answers that I am demanding, okay? This is me out to Seth Dillon last night. I sent him Bill Ackman's tweet because, you know, he tweeted, I feel incredibly privileged to have spent a day and shared a meal with Charlie Kirk this summer. He was a giant of a man. I said, any
mostly his head.
Comment on this one, Seth? He didn't answer last night. This morning I said, need a comment ASAP, please. He didn't answer. Then I followed that up and I said, trying again here, you were present when Ackman lost his mind on Charlie and when Bibi invited him to Israel and Charlie refused. Text messages immediately following this meeting are circulating. I find Ackman's statement, as though the meeting was somehow cordial, to be incredibly disturbing. Are you at all disturbed by that tweet? Do you feel, as I do, that this tweet significantly betrays the defined purpose and mood of his, and I presume your, final meeting with Charlie Kirk, ? He was unable to speak to me, but he did place some frantic calls to Turning Point USA. Yeah. You see, I went out to Seth, but I also went out to 2 other people who were at this meeting, and nobody is willing to go on record. They're all messaging each other, trying to figure out a coordinated response to say that, no, this was all quite cordial, but no one wants to go on record and describe it as cordial because they know someone's leaking, because someone's got a guilty conscience about what happened at the Hamptons. So I will again put it out there, Seth, Bill Ackman, and to the other individuals who I have not yet named, but who are going to be named later this week, were at the Hamptons when Charlie was put under pressure, when Bibi Netanyahu called him and invited him to Israel, again, in a move that when it happened to me, and it wasn't Bibi Netanyahu, felt to me like a laced threat. I am inviting you guys, I will give you my platform, actually, to come clear matters up, to tell us what really happened, because, you know, I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary.
Oh, no! Oh, we're going there!
Charlie was going to Mass. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the...
You're too smart to be a Protestant. Oh, this is such a shit show. This is great. I'm enjoying this. I have very little commentary. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm just a messy bitch that likes drama. Ooh.
The last step, Charlie. He says, ha ha. He was speaking about Mary. And typically, when those steps start taking place, you stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian. Again,
we're going there.
And it is mystifying why, you know, Bibi was out there doing the absolute most to make sure that Charlie was basically remembered as, I would argue, like a Jew, has not been...
Oh my God!
Yet mentioned. I didn't hear that.
Overt? Overt? Question mark? overt question mark. I think that's an overt anti-Semitism on the bingo card. It had some stank on it, the way she said that. Yeah, hard J. Ooh. Oh, this is bad. This is some shit.
Erica was very clear that Charlie was a Christian, and I believe Charlie obviously was very much a Christian.
I do not want to go back and replay, actually.
And that things are not being told truthfully. In fact, I will also call upon, since we're having fun, Turning Point USA to release the audio of what Charlie Kirk, because I was in communication with Charlie at this time, because I knew exactly.
Is it weird that this is making me feel better? What's wrong with my brain? Maybe it's because for the past week I've seen... Okay. I know why. I can explain why this is making me feel better. For the past week, I have seen what appears to be almost everyone on the right lining up with each other against what they perceive as their enemies on the left, quote-unquote Antifa, or quote Trantifa, a word I've never heard until 2 days ago. So, maybe seeing an 8 million view video from another Republican fighting with other Republicans makes me come a little bit back down to earth and go, okay, they're all upset right now, but they are still a political movement with a lot of internal strife and different beliefs that can still come in conflict with each other. So that's good.
Which donors were pressuring him and why. Exactly which people that they were insisting Charlie allowed to speak at his event and why, when Charlie did not necessarily want those people to speak at his event. Okay? I'm calling upon Turning Point to release the footage of what Charlie said to Tucker Carlson before he hit the stage. Before, all of that craziness and the response to Tucker Carlson's remarks played out. Charlie was mic'd. Surely Tucker Carlson was mic'd. I know Charlie's mic'd the entire time at those events, so I'm asking for everyone to just release Charlie in his own words. I feel like that's pretty fair, right? Let's stop saying how Charlie felt. And
at this point, does she know the alleged killer is Mormon? I don't know. This was the 15th. When did they actually bring in the person that is currently alleged to have done it? The Tyler guy? I'm not sure.
Instead, if you're going to hold up the letter, release it in its entirety, okay? Why don't you release your messages, Bill? I'll release mine. Let's all just be very forthcoming about what took place. In fact, I'm calling upon Tucker Carlson to speak about that. I know what Charlie said to him, and I am sure Tucker Carlson won't lie about it. What did Charlie say to you? Dave Smith, what did Charlie say to you? What was Charlie? Did he seem like he was treading in the direction? Like, do we feel like what BB is saying is honest, a representation of what Charlie was going through? This is what I want.
You don't consider Mormons actual Christians. It is an interesting taxonomic argument. I would put them in the category of Christians personally, but I understand why it's marginal for some people and some would not put them in the category. For me, how I define Christians taxonomically from an outsider standpoint, I was raised Christian, I used to believe it, but I don't anymore. For me, the thing that primarily says, is your religion or belief Christian or not, is, do you believe that Jesus existed, was the Son of God, and died for people's sins? That is my litmus test. That's Christianity. All the other stuff, that's sectarian difference, but ultimately, and I know that Mormons have a lot on top of it because they have their own separate book and the alt history bullshit about Jesus coming to America and Moroni. I know, but ultimately they still believe that you get salvation through Jesus, etc. So to me, it's still Christian. It's just like the latest in a long line of new Christian denominations, or at least one of the bigger new ones. Toreador says, man, I am so glad I made all this popcorn last week. There is so much of it. Nom nom nom. And to be fair, I do know that, it's a little different conceptually, where, they think that Jesus is the son of God, but like there's also a lot of other stuff familiar. And I don't mean familiar like you'll recognize it. I mean familiar as in like I think they also believe Satan is a son of God. So there's other stuff going on, but ultimately it's close enough where I put him in that category.
Think that the thing that we need here.
Rick M says, I'm confused about Antifa. It literally means anti-fascist. If MAGA dislikes Antifa, don't they understand that makes them fascist? You're not seeing it from their perspective even a little bit. Fennikagami says they have no attention span. I suspect they'll get bored about this in a few weeks. Plus, Trump's too much of a narcissist to share the stage with anyone, let alone a dead man. They're too incompetent to not fight each other. Steve Bannon is dragging Patel, too, for his incompetence. That's good. Good.
Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Now, does all of this mean that Bibi Netanyahu and that this somehow proves that Israel was involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? No, we have no evidence of that. We can't say that because there is no evidence of that. But I don't like little lies. That's what I will say.
We can't say that because there's no evidence of that. Has very, I'm not saying, but energy. Oofy, oofy, oof.
Something that I always say in my household is when there is one lie, there's 20. There's no reason to lie. Bibi could have gone on Fox News.
A Republican saying they don't like lies is hilarious.
And he could have told the truth. He could have said truthfully that Charlie Kirk has always loved Israel. He has always loved Israel as the Holy Land. He's been here many times. And throughout his career, he has been a faithful supporter of Israel. That's not what he said. Okay. He talks about the phone call and didn't give it the proper context.
Yeah, this is like what Republicans do all the time. Why are you upset when Netanyahu's doing it? Telling half stories that imply certain things that aren't true is like Republicans in a nutshell. What are you talking about?
He held up the letter and didn't give it the proper context. And lies by severe omission, I'd like to be very clear, are lies. Lies by severe omission are lies. You're not going to gaslight us and tell us to shut up or call us anti-Semitic for pointing out the fact that Charlie was having a change of heart about the tactics that Israel was using in America, and that he felt when he had left that meeting that he had effectively been blackmailed. Again, my platform is yours, Seth Dillon. My platform is yours, Bill Ackman. So if you want to clarify it, we can do it in front of millions, okay? And I think that that's what people deserve because everyone has PTSD. We watched Charlie get shot in the throat. That feels a little bit symbolic.
I want to be clear, you could absolutely have PTSD from seeing something like that, but to say everyone is, I don't know, am I crazy? Maybe my brain was already broken. I grew up with my uncle showing me rotten.com, so I've seen a lot of dead bodies in my day. I've seen a lot of people die on the internet. That probably explains a lot, huh?
It feels like they wanted us to know that his voice was...
The scariest reality of seeing a lot of dead bodies is when it finally gets into your brain that we're just meat. And anyone who's seen enough dead bodies knows exactly what I'm talking about when your brain goes, oh my god, we're meat! We're meat! We're meat! Oh, we're meat! Anyway, so I'm gonna say that's Lacan's The Real, the meat. Anyway.
Was problematic. Again, I don't know who they is. After we take this brief break, we're going to go through the investigation, which seems to have a lot of inconsistencies and holes in it. And we're definitely not yet at the bottom of what in fact took place. But I do know that I severely distrust people who rush to misrepresent things. And
again, anyone in the Republican, frankly, fuck it, anyone in the media sphere at all with an audience saying that is the gall, the unmitigated gall.
And it's not a good sign when somebody has to ask you
Toreador says, but what about the bones? I'd love to measure Kirk's skull. I think we'd have to invent bigger calipers.
As Greta Van Susteren asked Bibi Netanyahu in his secondary hit regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination, it's not a good sign if somebody even has to ask if you did have anything to do with the assassination. Doesn't make you a great person, okay? And that's what she asked him. Take a listen.
Before I let you go, I want you to address one thing, it's just the absurdity of it. Some of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is
Wait, she's on Newsmax now? Jesus Christ!
Behind the Charlie Kirk murder, and I don't believe it for 1 second, but I want you to make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane. That's insane. Israel.
No, this is a separate thing. He was on Fox and Newsmax. The earlier clip was from Fox. Now he's on Newsmax. The leader of Israel had the time to go on at least 2 separate right-wing propaganda networks. Apparently, he has other people managing the genocide for him, so he just has all the time in the world to go on fucking Newsmax.
Also changes the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. I mean, the whole thing is, it's not only insane, I think it's so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous. You can't believe that people are saying this. They just found the perpetrator. They'll get to the bottom of this, but they go, they have no limits. When you hate Jews, when you hate the Jewish state, you're willing to say.
That's very, very different things. Why is this turning into the fucking Israel-Palestine episode?
Anything. And promote.
Fun fact, you can dislike and even hate the actions of Israel, the state, and Netanyahu, the person, and it have nothing to do with anti-Semitism or Jewishness at all. Fun fact, I don't give a fuck about anyone's religious belief or ethnicity. Doesn't matter. Not a fan of genocide, believe it or not.
All these absurd rumors. And by the way, they're willing to kill us all the time. I mean,
yes, Jay's a proxy.
That's what they're doing. And over the centuries, when Jews, especially in the Middle Ages, the horrific Middle Ages, the worst things were said about Jews you couldn't possibly believe. We were poisoning the wells. We were drinking the blood of Christian children. You name it.
Shooting missiles at children. Oh wait, sorry, that one's true. Toreador says there are also no troops in Baghdad.
I mean, these things, that continued actually up to the Holocaust. The Nazis said the same thing. We're carrying vermin, we're spreading disease. And
look, man, I don't think that Israel had anything to do with the death of Charlie Kirk. There's no reason to think that unless there was evidence of it. But man, I really hate how he tries to cover any criticism of Israel, the state, or him as a leader with the anti-Semitism thing. Anti-Semitism is a very real thing. Anti-Semitism has fucked over Jewish people for I don't even know how long. That's not this situation when we're talking about Israel, okay? Diogenes with 17 months, thank you.
And people believed it, and every time they believed it, this was a prelude to a greater and greater massacre, culminating with the worst.
Oh no, we wouldn't want a massacre. If anyone's doing a massacre in the Israel-Palestine area right now, I sure wish they would stop.
Massacre of them all, the Holocaust.
Well, he's mentioned the Holocaust. Guess we can't prod the narrative any further, guys. Holocaust, so everybody's just stopped talking about anything. I mean, hey, he's the victim. It's absurd. It's just absurd. The Holocaust happened. You heard him. We're sick of this shit. We really are. And there will be no narrative that I will not prod when it comes to figuring out why people are lying about the state that Charlie was in when it came to the topic of Israel. Again, you can examine Charlie in his own words. He was starting to talk about topics that you're not really allowed to talk about when you take money and big checks are being written And that pressure was increasing every single day. In fact, he was telling the truth even about Jeffrey Epstein. Take a listen.
Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who was obviously...
Oh no, the Mossad thing! Oh fuck! Oh no! Oh fuck!
A spy of the Israeli intelligence agency.
Which is Mossad.
But there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well. The sweatpants and the Harvard jacket, the kind of disheveled hair, looking as if he was so smart and above the clouds that he was doing advanced mathematic equations on the back of napkins. But if you actually go into some of the videos of people that met with Epstein at the time, they said he was awfully unimpressive when it came to finance and markets and economics. And
okay, a lot of people fail upward. What are you talking about? Tons of rich people have, like, rich or at least stable parents who boosted them into some higher echelon, and then they just fail upwards because they kind of breach that place where they get to do that.
it's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible. Easy, not hard. And this is...
Doesn't that sort of predicate that you think every person wants to be a pedophile? Like, as a plan, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I think we all know that there are, like, powerful people who abuse their power. But what he is saying is he is implying that every single person, or at least every guy, I guess, if offered underage girls to sleep with, would do so. Like, he's acting as though, like, as a plan, if you offer any man with power a child to rape, that they will get on board, and that's your easy peasy plan to get blackmail on people. And frankly, if I believed that about human beings, I would off myself right now. I'm just putting that out there. If I genuinely found out that any adult man, if offered that, would take it, or even like 80%, 60%, 50%, I'm done. I would not want to be on this planet. Woo! Anyway, Tellurian Catron with 100 bits says, speaking of falling up, where the fuck is Bill Pulte in the government? Really? He's working with Trump in the government. He's running Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. It's really bad. You don't know? Oh yeah, shit's bad.
This is no longer just speculation. First of all...
Yes, seriously. He's been trying to get Jerome Powell ousted from the Fed on behalf of Trump.
The evidence that shows that...
He's trying to get the Federal Reserve Chair position. If that happens, we're in a simulation. I'm going full conspiracy theorist. If Bill Pulte becomes the Fed chair, I'm going to put on a tinfoil hat, never take it off, and this show is shifting into pro-conspiracy theory mode. We will all escape the Matrix!
Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence, American intelligence, Saudi intelligence, or maybe he was just a hired gun. Maybe he was just the guy that countries would go to and park a couple $100 million and say, hey, can you get one of the members of the royal family with a 13-year-old so we can get them to do what we want to do? Members of Congress are actively being blackmailed.
Like, would the entire operation not be blown the second you offer this to someone and they go, no, you sick fuck, what are you talking about? And then they go report to literally anyone that a government offered them an underage child? Like, are you serious? It just seems like a plan with medium upside in terms of getting blackmail and severe downside if you're caught. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like intelligence agencies' operations haven't become public knowledge before or been leaked. That happens, and when it happens and it's something embarrassing or awful, it blows up. So the idea that they would do this, I don't know. I just think you would need, like, you know, evidence to make this claim before you start stoking the flames of conspiracy about this.
Epstein playbook is being used on a daily basis. Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier. He was not a hedge fund manager. Jeffrey Epstein was a key player in a multi-decade blackmail operation against the most powerful people on the planet.
Jesus Christ. Republican conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Did I hear the conspiracy that in April 2016, a weasel broke into the Large Hadron Collider and sent us into the wrong timeline? That makes more sense than anything I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems to conflict with BB's narrative a little bit. Yeah, just a tiny bit. I do want to say this. It's important because I am angry. I will obviously, I pray to move on from this phase, but it's a fire in my belly right now.
AKA, she's gonna milk this so hard. She's gonna milk this until the milker is sore. Yeah, let's see. She's done 1, 2, 3. She's got 4 videos on this so far in the last... Oh, 5 videos so far in the last however many days since it happened. Like 7 or 8 days. It's been like a week and she has like 4 or 5 videos. Cynical. Fennikagami says, to be fair, a lot of powerful are some kind of pervert. It's not all pedophile shit, but a ton of power people are sex criminals. They all gravitate towards the Trump administration, and criminal organizations have screening procedures to keep people from ratting on them. It's far more likely that he was acting independently, gathering info and selling it broker style. I don't think we've seen any evidence that he was using it as blackmail at all. Like, if there's evidence of that, that's fine. I'm not against it if there's evidence. I just keep hearing people saying he was blackmailing people. Is there any evidence of that? Like, could it not just be him and his crony-ass weird rich friends, and they're just pervert, sick assholes? Like, it doesn't need to be a blackmail thing. They just were sick freaks. Toreador says, as a cow furry, don't threaten me with a good time. Nothing like a throbbing udder. Don't clip that.
To those of you who think that you are going to replace Charlie Kirk, okay? Kings are born. You don't just get to depose and tell us that we're going to follow this individual.
How can I say that? Because I don't have evidence to the contrary. Again, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm happy to hear it. I'm just speaking on what I know at the time based on the evidence I have.
Well, okay? I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. You put a shill in Charlie Kirk's chair, in Charlie Kirk's company, and you try to tell us to follow that individual.
I think Ben Shapiro's taking over Turning Point, which I think is what she's talking about. And of course, the people who think that Israel did the Charlie Kirk thing, which there's no evidence of, when you put Ben Shapiro in charge of the company, that looks pretty suspicious to them.
I will be an enemy of you. There will be nothing that can stop.
Trey says, my personal thought is he had no interest in blackmailing people, that he was instead much more interested in having a collection of people that he had in his life that would protect him financially, politically, or socially, and he basically used that to create a system for himself.
Me. Okay? And I want you guys to understand, this is not a threat. This is a promise. There will be nothing that can stop me. I will release every single text message. So to those of you who are trying that, I'm seeing the messages, I am telling you to back off right now. Like right now, don't do it, okay? Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair, okay? Over my dead body, which I'm sure can be arranged. Now, I'm going to take a pause. We're going to go to some sponsors, and we're going to get into what we are being told.
Oh, he isn't? Maybe I just heard a conspiracy person say it, and I didn't fact check it. Why did I hear that? This is why it's important to check your facts, people. Otherwise, you end up on a stream saying things that aren't true, and you look like the douchebag. Toreador says, in Minecraft, Candace Owens, in Minecraft.
By the agencies. There are definitely some holes, maybe more is coming out. First, this is fantastic that Preborn is doing this. Every heartbeat tells a story, and at Preborn, they give moms in crisis the chance to hear that heartbeat for free, and that's
Oh, ew. Is this some pro-life organization that tries to, like,
you're pro-life, you can all...
Sick bitch.
That's gno.land/...
Okay, I think we've seen enough of her thing today. We get the gist. She blames Israel. So that's a thing that's going on in the conspiracy sphere. Hey, how are the Medbed people doing? By the way, I said this earlier, but in case you missed it, I'm giving myself a 10-day deadline to finish up the Medbed video, so that should be out soon. Should be fun. Should be fun. Toreador says, BB, challenge accepted, Candace. Stone Corbell says, Erica Kirk was unanimously elected the new president of Turning Point USA by their board. Thank you, Stone Corbell, for correcting me on the misinformation that I said. Do better, bitch. Oh, look, it's the Medbed grifters. Don't worry, they're going to use the plasma energy spheres.
All right, so I'm hanging out with Len and Marie, and you folks are basically my neighbors down in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And you're back to visit us. This is the second round of using the technology, and Len.
So this is actually sick. This guy had a stroke, and they're claiming that this plasma energy is going to help him recover from the stroke. It doesn't do anything. This is not FCC tested in any way. Not that the FCC has a lot of credibility right now anyway. Or sorry, FDA, not FCC. FDA. It's just bullshit. This guy's a full-on grifter, taking money from ill people and giving them bullshit.
You're doing it to kind of help recover
Toreador says, oh, hey, it's the Denderalites.
from a stroke.
That means 10 days to go to patrons or 10 days to the public. It will go to patrons first. My idea as of right now is to have, let me see, the 28th be when it premieres for patrons, and I'll watch it with you guys on a patron-only live stream, and then it would probably come out 29th or 30th, depending on if there's any issues with the upload on YouTube.
You had?
That's right.
How you feeling?
I feel great now. It's really doing it.
It's really, and I know, Marie, you've seen a lot of progress.
Oh, I know about the Denderalites. It's the thing that's like reeds or something, right? Yeah. Conspiracy theorists, for those that don't know, see this and think it's a light bulb. It's not. It's a flower, basically, that existed in that area. But conspiracy theorists look at it and go, I think that looks like a light bulb, so they must have had secret technology in the past.
Right now, you're actually sitting in the Phi-ray system. This is probably one of the best technologies that we've got right here, and it's
the best technology. Very descriptive.
A dual tube plasma system. Anybody watching can get more information on that. But Marie, tell us a little bit about what you've seen as far as the recovery for Len and how he's doing with, you know, the sessions that he's been using here at our center.
Yes.
This upsets me a lot. Clearly, the husband, he had a stroke, as they said. I imagine that's been incredibly stressful. I can't imagine the impact that a health issue like that is going to have. And then, some asshole, like the guy behind the Medbed, comes out, and he just takes advantage of it. He just takes their money and sells them lies. His name is Sean. He's a fucking monster.
I've noticed
Sean Callahan.
Since we used,
in my opinion, he's a monster.
That wand, what is it called?
The terahertz wand.
Yeah.
That's the blow dryer I've shown you guys.
Yes, because his right toes curl up, I noticed that he's more stable on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
I spent quite a while on it when we first tried it on his foot.
Right.
And I've noticed that he's a lot more stable on his feet when he's walking. with the cane,
Mm-hmm.
I feel more confident that I can walk ahead of him and not have to hold his hand,
Mm-hmm.
and he can catch up with me at his rate. And with regard to his hand, I've noticed because it wants to curl up, the right hand wants to curl up, and we did the wand on the hand. That's why he wanted to buy it, because we could instantly see a difference, because at nighttime,
I want to point out, you can barely hear her, I'll turn it up. So they're saying that they bought the hair dryer thing and they're using it because it helps with whatever thing, and it pisses me off because if heat being applied to it helps, you could go get a blow dryer or a heating pad or something like that, pretty reasonably priced at any store. I'm not telling them that they can't use heat on this if it does help him for whatever reason, whether it's psychosomatic or not. But the thing is, Sean is selling this for like $800 or $700. The cheaper version might be like $300 or something. The actual blow dryer itself, when you're drop shipping it, costs like $20. They could go to the store or on Amazon and buy a hair dryer and use it for $20. But instead, Sean sold them one of these for hundreds of dollars and is ripping them off. He's a monster. He's an evil person stealing money via fraud from sick people. He's just a monster. I can't wait for you guys to see this fucking video. Like, don't get me wrong, it's funny in that the lies he tells are so absurd, it's weird and funny. But he's a fucker. He's an absolute fuck.
it will curl up and I force it flat down and I'll put my weight on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now I'm not having to do that because it's hard for me to go to sleep if I'm putting weight on his hand to keep
Yeah.
it, stretched out.
Yeah.
Because I know it.
And I feel like a bad person too, because I want to go to this woman and shake her and be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But you can't do that. Because, can I blame people if they're stupid or gullible? We're all the product of our environment to some extent or another. She was probably failed in her life at some point, or she's so desperate she's willing to believe anything. But you start to get mad at these people. You start to get mad at people who allow themselves to get tricked. And you almost go good, fuck you. And that's unhealthy. It's incredibly unhealthy to think that. We always need to have empathy for people being fooled. Our anger should always be directed at the scammer. And you should be directing resources and help to people like her who need it.
Keeps it like that, the tendons will shrink.
Mm-hmm.
And then it always wants to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important to have that hand open and closing like that. And we will do anything.
By the way, this is why as a community, as a society, it should be our jobs to make it illegal for people to do this and put them in jail so they can't hurt vulnerable people. Vulnerable people, fun fact, need to be protected. That's what society is for.
Thing to his advantage to accomplish such.
Yeah.
And that's why he purchased that, because he felt that instantly it was helping.
And Christina said that you're also using the red light mitten.
Yes, the red light mitten
And then there's a red light shoulder piece that he's been wearing.
Wow, they spent thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm familiar, again, I've been working on the Medbed video. I'm familiar with the things he's talking about with them. They have spent thousands of dollars on devices that do nothing or something that could easily be accomplished with a blow dryer or similar device that's much cheaper.
Yeah,
There's
for the
another
cape
one. There's another one that'll.
for the chest that she mentioned, yes.
Oh, yeah. And Len, how do you like those?
I think they're good.
Yeah.
They don't bother him, the light, on the table like that. He's
Yeah.
not sensitive. I know a lot of people that are, taking
Microwavable heating pad. Fuck, you can get a sock or something and fill it with rice and microwave it. You can microwave rice and it works like a heating pad.
medication for epilepsy.
Don't burn yourself. Make sure to have an adult and to check the temperature. Don't sue me because you burned yourself on rice. I do not condone
Would bother them, the lights bother them.
Yeah.
But I have a wolf bed at home that he likes to lay on that he shouldn't, but he's used to the lights like that. It doesn't bother him.
That's awesome.
And the more you can do it, the more advantageous it is to recovery.
Mm-hmm. I know that you had also talked about after the first time Len was here that you noticed improvements in speech.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that as he notices improvements, he stays more calmer because he's had such a time trying to articulate since his stroke, which will be 3 years in October the 12th. But when he sees himself improving, whether it be in his hand, his foot, or whatever, it puts his mind more at ease. And if he's relaxed, he can spew out a complete sentence and he's not struggling with word finding problems. When he gets upset that he can't tell us what he wants because he knows what he wants to say. He just can't.
Trey says, don't worry, Hannah, when Dr. Oz gave someone advice that led to them being themselves third-degree burned on their feet, Dr. Isaacs established the legal precedent that you, Hannah, cannot establish a doctor-patient relationship with your audience. Why is every ruling and every law built in favor of scammers, con artists, and the worst people in the world? I know that once I die and my audience dies, my channel's not going to be here forever. And outside of my very small, dedicated audience, no one in the world, like outside of the people I know in real life, care about me or know who I am, which is fine. That's typical. But if anyone in the future sees this, like decades from now, sometime someone sees this, I hope things got better. I really do. Because this is exhausting. And if things have gotten worse, what the fuck are you doing? Do something. Jesus Christ. What are we doing?
Articulate like he should. Then it gives him more confidence to talk. And when he's more confident to talk, then he speaks more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've noticed where we're going down the road, like on the way back home from here.
Hillary and Katrin, thanks for the 100 bits. I think you hit enter before you meant to, so when you put the rest of the message, I'll read it.
And he makes a statement that's complete, and I don't have to...
Hillary and Katrin says, I'd like to imagine there's a future version of someone like you watching your old streams like Lost Media. That would be nice, but that's not really how the world works.
Guess what the subject is.
Someday when Amazon Web Services or YouTube decides, wow, we have way too much old videos stored that no one has ever seen, my entire catalog of life's work will be deleted and no one will ever see it again. And that's the fate of us all. You don't even have YouTube videos. Think how few people will remember you. It's depressing. Everything's depressing.
Usually before he started the treatments, he would say, well, we could, but you don't want to, right? And I was like, what are we talking about? So we play the charades.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing that less and less now, thank goodness, where he can articulate much better.
You might download on a hard drive for fun. Hey, you have my permission to download any of my videos, all of my videos for personal use, or whatever. If you want to download all my videos, put them on something, throw them in a fucking safe, watch them, you do you, I don't care.
I know Christina, when you came in today,
As
noticed
long as you're not selling them, because let me tell you, no one's buying.
that, Len, you were walking a lot faster and it just seemed a lot more.
Okay, fuck this grifter. Let's move on, because we don't have a ton of time left, but I do want to cover at least one or two more things. Oh, I have so many more Charlie Kirk things, but I don't want to cover it again. Is there any that I really want to watch? Let's see. How about... Oh, that really bad channeler channeling Charlie Kirk. That'd be pretty good. Tori Adore says, the third death. First is when we die physically, second is when we die in memory, and the third is when our social media and search histories are deleted. Oh no, if I'm on my way out, I'm deleting my search history first. No one can find that shit. For the record, it's not illegal, it's just embarrassing.
Hey, welcome everybody. It's Mr. Reality, joined by psychic medium Liz Cross, and as we're doing this video, it's September 11th at 9:15 Central AM. Just want to say, hey Liz, I thought maybe I should talk to you and find out what happened yesterday in the whole Charlie Kirk assassination.
Yeah, big request for this. We also got questions from our Patreon subscribers, so we're going to go through those questions as well.
Yes, I'll be going through those questions, and let me pull those up now.
Are they gonna make they're gonna make Charlie Kirk sound the nicest he's ever sounded in his entire existence? I can't really say life, even they recognize he's dead. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. So that was
I should point out, this was not uploaded like today. They uploaded this 7 days ago. So they like really did not, they barely waited for his body to hit the ground. Like this is even by Charlie, like, you guys know I don't like Charlie Kirk, but this is tasteless. This is so bad.
quite a big news event, and here we are. It seems like this kind of thing, this violence is happening all over the place. I don't want to bring in Charlie Kirk just yet, but I'd like to try.
They uploaded this the next day, the day after. Here's the thing, like, almost on a hype train. I don't even know where I was gonna go with this. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I can't believe they actually did this shit, though. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? Flame Hazer with 26 months says, is it me or did no one care about Kirk until he got Minecrafted? Yeah, Republicans are trying to hold him up as a thing. They want to make him white MLK, which is hilarious. Chitara says, the way I've rationalized is that I don't care if strangers 1,000 years from now know who I was. I'm only concerned about the people who do remember me and my words, so fondly. I wish I had friends. I have friends. I just never feel like I have friends because I have a personality disorder I've yet to identify. The internet's probably identified it, but...
And find out maybe from... How do you want to go about this, Liz? Let's take your direction.
Well, we can, let's focus on the shooter first.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
That plane. The plane that everybody's talking about that was scrambled.
Yeah, there was a couple of reports of a plane that scrambled that left Provo and then came back, circled back. And then I saw on Twitter this morning a guy named Tom Decker who worked at Wendover Airport had his account scrubbed after reporting about this N888KG plane.
Did they think someone shot him from a plane? That would be an incredible, like, I do not condone violence. Let's just say, hitting a stationary target for target practice in a completely unrelated situation from an airplane would be crazy. Am I wrong? Like, what? That's crazy. And I've seen the movie Wanted. They curved that bullet.
I guess, can we find out what happened to Tom Decker and why he got scrubbed from Twitter?
They think it was a professional and the hitman escaped via plane. Okay.
Yeah, let's ask why. So I'm going to grab X, Twitter. Why did you scrub Tom Decker's account? What? We believe what?
Wait, who's saying this? Who are you communicating with? What?
Scrubbed his account. Why?
Who? What? Who are you talking to, allegedly?
Took it down. They took it down, deleted. Okay. Well, it's kind of like a backdoor delete, meaning the information.
Oh, they're talking to Twitter? They're channeling Twitter? What do you mean you're channeling Twitter? What does that mean? Okay.
is still there. It just, you can't see it at the front door. We're at the front door, Twitter's at the back door, right? So the information is still there. Is it being investigated? Oh yeah. Is that why you had to tear it down? Yes, they had to tear it down because this was really important information. They don't want internet sleuths interfering.
When I try and imagine what the personified Twitter would be, I think of like a bird furry that has been chained in a closet and like branded with an X on their forehead, and Elon Musk just comes into the closet and spits on him every couple hours.
With the investigation, the FBI investigation, and that is why they tore the information down. The last thing they need are sleuths, according to the FBI.
Okay, let's get to when they allegedly talked to Kirk.
More like, it's honestly, it sounds very similar to our guys that were contracted to take Trump out.
No.
It's not them specifically. I know that was a big question. It's not them. However, it's almost like another little group here that they pick on someone vulnerable, they find the perfect candidate, and they want to convince them this is what needs to be done, and we will pay you for the job.
Fire on the divisiveness. That's
okay, can we skip to what just talk? I want to hear you pretend to talk to Charlie Kirk.
Because a lot of times, people are really clued up on psychological warfare. And we have an election coming up. Did whoever that did this group, was that your intention to take out someone who maybe, keeps...
So they're not even talking to Charlie yet? When do you talk to Charlie Kirk, you cowards?
Exactly as you just said, they were
Gitara says, hang on, if they're channeling Twitter, wouldn't this mean that they think Elon is behind trying to kill Trump and actually killing Kirk? No, they think Twitter's a being that they can connect with.
No, the person...
Yeah, when she said election, did she mean the special election for the state senators in Minnesota that got killed? No, does she mean the midterms? Because that's not till next year. I'm very confused.
Person or people behind the contract, what are their views, or what is...
Maybe she just doesn't know anything and just misspoke.
Is it that they're trying to accomplish? Are they foreign? No, they're domestic. This is someone who is extremely wealthy, billionaire, who sees Charlie Kirk, or who saw Charlie Kirk as a threat and wanted to rid of him.
And this is probably not going to come out. This is something that, again, will be an unthreaded or untied thread.
Is this going to be will they ever find the people behind this? No, they won't find them. Just like...
Wow, they're batting zero.
They didn't find the people ultimately behind the Trump shooter.
Right? Oh, well, that's convenient when you just decide that the people they caught aren't the real people, huh?
You'll be doing, this is how they get these psychologically vulnerable people. You'll be doing everyone a favor. They sell it to them.
They did arrest the guy. This was 7 days ago, so before that.
Well, in their mind, they would never have to work. They're definitely...
Why?
Maximum impact. He is coming through loud and clear.
Okay, they finally are getting to Charlie. Jesus.
I know you always say we sign up for these life plans, nothing ever happens by chance. Is this how we plan to go out?
This shouldn't be as funny as it is, but holy shit, if you take a shot at every boomerism, you'll be dead. Oh, real raw news. That would be why. Antifa recruitment surges following Kirk's death, and Trump promises to label Antifa domestic terrorists. Again, Antifa is not like a centralized organization, it's just the idea that you don't like fascism. Young leftists have been attending Antifa recruitment meetings, you know, all the meetings that we've all heard of, at a record pace ever since Donald J. Trump announced he planned to designate it a terrorist organization. Although the president has made such proclamations in 2017 and 2019 but didn't follow through, I mean, there's nothing he can do. You can't, that's not a, the president doesn't have the power to just declare that, like, a domestic organization are terrorists. He can say it verbally, but, like, there's not a mechanism for any of the things that he's claiming. The murder of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk and the left's vile reaction celebrating Kirk's death and throwing boozy house and dorm parties. Ah, these kids with their boozy dorm parties. The left says of course, they're asking for donations. It says, we appreciate our contributors. We're in need of approximately $550 by the end of the month to meet expense goals. We appreciate all genuine help to keep us alive and thriving. Yeah, I need $550 too. Don't we all? Annie Kai, thanks for 52 months. The left says President Trump cannot call Antifa a terrorist organization because it's not an organization at all, but rather unconnected, ununified people who share similar ideas and ideals. On the other hand, the right insists that Antifa is a decentralized, well-funded brigade of brigands bankrolled by none other than radical left lunatic George Soros, whose money has been linked to violent protests and... Is George Soros still alive? He must be if they're talking about it, but I'm telling you, 20 years from now, they're still gonna be like, George Soros's ghost is funding protests I don't like. Oh my god! They call the shooter Tyler a quote, transgender Tyler Robinson. Oh my god, he's not trans! Okay, I gotta tap out of that. That's ridiculous.
This is how you plan to go. Exactly how.
Fennec Agami says, someone needs to explain to people that calling Antifa an organization is like calling MAGA an organization. Antifa is a movement and ideology, same as MAGA. I wouldn't even claim it's that similar, because MAGA, you could point to a direct leader, an organizational structure with Trump and his cronies. You can't do that with Antifa because it's not like a thing. It's not a thing.
How he planned to go out.
Why?
Maximum impact.
What kind of an impact?
What kind of an impact? To shock, outrage, startle, just to grip people.
Was he sitting there in the afterlife with a thesaurus? No offense, but Charlie talked quicker than this.
To expose. It's maximum impact.
No, not AI. Unless, that would be funny if she's using an AI to write stuff for her because she can't even improv it, but I don't think so.
Just, did he, I guess, how many other lifetimes did he have where he was maybe a catalyst for this type of a change?
How many other lifetimes were you when you were a catalyst for this type of change? 0. This is his first attempt.
How many lifetimes has he had as a human being?
How many lifetimes have you had as a human being? Now, he's up there. He's around 400.
Oh, wow, he's learned nothing. That's crazy. You live 400 lifetimes and you're still a shitbag? Well, kind of makes you question the whole point of reincarnation, doesn't it?
Did he have any premonitions? These are Patreon questions, by the way. Did he have any premonitions that this was going to happen?
Imagine paying these people money to ask questions to a fake dead guy.
To him, did he ever have any fears about it?
Did you ever have any fears? Oh, all the time. Did you have any premonitions? No, he'd become too relaxed and too complacent.
So you're saying if he was on alert, he would have had a Final Destination-esque precog moment, and he could have dodged that bullet. That would have been sweet.
Did he know that he would die young when he was in life incarnated?
If I die young, bury me in satin, lay me down on a bed of roses.
Did you know that you would die young when you were here? No, he did not know that. Now, there was a lot of talk going around on, I believe, Twitter that said he was afraid that Israel would take him out.
Oh my God, they're pushing it too! Oh no! Oh man, it's kind of a shame that the consensus in the conspiracy sphere is this, huh?
Asking him now, do you believe that this is an Israeli attack? I'm getting a no.
Does he have past life contracts with the shooter?
Do you have past life contracts with the shooter? No.
That's surprising. Usually it tracks back. What was his biggest life lesson?
You can't set me up like that. You can't set me up like that when I'm not allowed to say the jokes. Come on!
What was your biggest life lesson in this lifetime as Charlie Kirk? It was that he believed that he was moving through the lifetime with a strong sense of purpose. And in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, he is saying that he believes that he changed a lot of people's lives.
You know, I would agree with that. Charlie Kirk did change a lot of people's lives, demonized minorities, hurt and harmed trans people constantly, pushed a lot of people into an ideology that ultimately causes them to suffer. Yeah, he did change a lot of lives. I'd agree with that. Amber says there are certain organizations that could themselves be described as anti-fascist, most anarchist mutual aid groups, black bloc militias, certain radical unions like IWW, and so on, but the right doesn't realize is most of, if not all of these, are decentralized grassroots organizations that, due to their left-wing ideology, have no hierarchical organizing structure. There's no single unified leadership. It's all localized and organized horizontally, which is good, especially when these organizations are being attacked. It makes it harder for them to be dismantled. Jitara says, honestly, the idea of a lich who gathered tons of wealth, influence, and power, who's also an anti-fascist, is pretty cool. They persist in undeath solely to bankroll and give advice to rebel groups, progressive activities, or rather activists, democratic organizations to prevent governments from becoming tyrannical, or to help them remove tyrants from power. More conservative people will have conspiracy theories of this lich having their hands in everything, and it would be the only conspiracy theory to be true. Someone should steal that for a D&D campaign. That's actually a fun character.
And he felt that great sense of purpose. A lot of people go through the lifetimes and they say, what is my sense of purpose? I have no sense of fulfillment, no sense of purpose. He's never felt like that in that lifetime. He always felt as if his life had purpose.
Did he ever consider...
Sorry, let me ask this question. Were you starting to wind down your career as, this youth movement? No, he wasn't. I was wondering if he had plans to go on and do other things. He did have plans to do other things, but in conjunction with the youth movement. Now, 31, I know, is kind of older than college age. So, do you believe that you were starting to get too old for the circuit? And he says yes. He
I'm sorry, are you negging the corpse? I'm sorry. She's putting the words in a dead man's mouth and saying, yeah, I was too old for my job. I kind of sucked at it. All right, then.
Was starting to feel that. You know, it becomes a level, he's saying, of unfairness. As you're getting older, you know, you have more life experience, you start, you know, having things more put together. The puzzle is starting to fit better than college kids who are just starting out. So I'm saying, do you think that it was fair when you were...
Am I on track to outlive Charlie? I would imagine so. How old was he? 30 what? 32? 33? How old was he? They just said it, I know, but I missed the exact number.
Debating with these college kids, and he does. He says yes. His personal thoughts, feelings...
He was 31. Oh, I'm 31. Same age.
And opinions, obviously. But he does also feel that he was getting to a point where it was, you know, going into the unfair territory. Because he had more life experience. So were you thinking of maybe appointing someone? I mean, he was looking for ambassadors to this youth movement, he says, to take over. But he enjoyed what he did. He's saying that very strongly. Now, I have a question, Mr. Reality. Since you have been shot, now how do you feel about the Second Amendment?
Ask a dead guy that a day after he gets shot. She was going for the jugular, too late. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Ah.
See, there you go.
Disavowal. Disavowal.
How do you feel? Let's tell the audience. How do you feel about the Second Amendment? It's bogus.
I'm sorry, is she gonna go out of her way to say the opposite of everything this man ever said in his life about guns? That's so funny and disrespects his memory, and I don't care.
Do you agree with the Second Amendment? No. He's saying his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions.
What a twist! What a twist!
Now he's on the other side.
You know what they say, Republicans never care till it affects them directly. I'd call that shot pretty direct.
There needs to be serious gun reform in the USA.
Oh man, if you were a Charlie Kirk fan and you heard this, wouldn't you be so upset? Wow, I guess he did lose that debate, huh? Well, there you go.
Do you agree that, like, what does gun reform look like to you now that you are over there looking down here? What does that look like? Can you paint a picture for us? Now, he is saying total ban.
Not even like not even like semi-automatic weapons. Oh, guns! Wow, that's, that is a flaw. That's a flip-flop right there. That's, if there's any situation that would make your opinion on guns change, I guess it would be this.
Can you believe that? Because, I mean, full disclosure, I didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was until yesterday.
Yeah, shocking. Wow, I definitely can't tell.
Right? And then,
like, literally, that opinion is more anti-gun than I am. Even I'd be like, whoa, that's a lot. Only regulate 30-06s. There you go. There you go. He gets very specific.
Of course, I was reading through some of the Patreon questions. I'm like, oh, okay. This
accidentally based on the bingo card, I guess, for Charlie Kirk's ghost changing his mind.
This is who he is. And then I watch a little bit of the news, which I rarely do. Okay, he was pro Second Amendment. He was pro this, pro that. But now he's on the other side.
Chat, also, I kind of want a patty melt for dinner. Consider using the tip link, because I don't get paid until tomorrow. So consider tipping me so I can go buy beef.
Let's ask him this question. You were pro...
No pressure. If I don't, I have other stuff to eat.
Christianity. Now that you're on the other side, and there's no religion up there...
Wow, it really feels like she's just pushing her opinion onto Charlie Kirk. It's almost like she's not psychic at all.
How do you feel about following that hardline Christianity, that Christian approach to life?
This is, like, fucked up, actually. Like, I find it funny because I'm not taking it seriously, obviously, but the fact that she just takes dead people and just uses them to push her opinion is so fucked up.
And he's saying it was just a narrative. But as we know, up there, it's devoid of religion. There's no religion in the afterlife.
Again, like, a Christian would disagree with you because a Christian believes that the afterlife is heaven or hell. Or if they're Catholic, I guess purgatory's in there. But you know what I mean. She is presupposing that her idea of an afterlife is correct and projecting that onto the situation.
So do you believe that you were...
Hell yeah! Just a peach with $3 says beef money. Fuck yeah!
Mistake.
Thank you for the beef money.
In following that Christian narrative at all? I mean, he's saying yes and no, and I'm saying, why do you say that? And he says, well, because it was too intense. Do you believe that you should have lightened up a bit? I mean, in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions.
Am I gonna get BJ beef? What's BJ beef?
He says yes, but excuse me, but my main concern is that Second Amendment. I mean, he was all for, you know, people having guns, the right to bear arms.
Okay, saying BJ's doesn't... I don't know what that means. What is BJ's beef? What the fuck are you talking about? What? The club? What? This is... What? There's a beef club? What the fuck?
But this is what's
the beef club?
Killed him. And now he believes he's...
Oh, like the BJ's is a store. Oh, like they're like a Costco or like a Sam's Club, right? No, I've never been to a BJ's.
Changed his tune. He's saying a total ban on guns, which I've lived in countries where there's been a total ban on guns, and, you know, the criminals...
Didn't the Pope declare purgatory no longer canon? I don't know. I don't keep up with canon law or anything the Pope says.
Always find guns. So,
well, they should ban knives, too, apparently.
Where do all the babies go? Nemesaur with a $10 tip says, what can a patty melt cost, Hannah? $10? Thank you. Thank you for beef money.
It's a lot of knife.
I appreciate the beef money.
So, you know.
Right. I mean,
you can't stop at one thing.
I mean, we clearly have a problem. Let's ask him. Do you believe that we clearly have a problem with guns in this country? Now you're on the other side. Oh, he believed we had a problem with guns when he was here.
Oh my God, they're calling him a liar too.
even more so now he's on the other side. And there was also a school shooting yesterday. What do you think the answer is to school shootings? Now, in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, he's saying maximum security. So what does maximum security look like? It looks like armed guards, metal detectors.
That is something he has said. So that's actually something she must have seen the clip or the quote of him claiming that there should be guards. He would never say we shouldn't have guns. That's crazy.
Wait.
Constant patrols.
You have 6 pounds of ground venison in your freezer? Lucky. Give me that meat.
In all, how can you trust, how can you profile the people that have the weapons? How does he think you can do that?
Let's ask him, how can we profile? So if every
I like that
school
they're calling it profiling too.
is to have, you know, guards, armed guards, metal detectors, you know, patrols, active patrols throughout the day, how can we trust those people? And they have to go through a very, very psychological, he says, and rigorous security check. Psychological.
Charlie Kirk is rolling in his grave.
Profiling, constant training. It's a scary prospect. I mean, he has 2 kids, right? Let's ask him this question. Do you believe that your wife and children are going to be targeted next? No. He says they just
That's a fucked up thing to ask too.
wanted him. How do you think that this is going to impact your children? If this is going to be disastrous for his children, because he says as they get older, they're really going to question this, you know, line he was telling, this, you know, and they're
I doubt they will. They're still going to be raised by their mom, and I assume she has the same beliefs. They're not gonna. If anything, he'll be so martyred in their household. It might cause issues, but it's going to cause different issues than what you're claiming. I'm sure he's going to be held up way beyond just, oh, he was your father and he loved you, which would be reasonable. It'd be very reasonable to, you know, I don't like Charlie Kirk personally, but within his own life and his own family, he was their dad. He was their husband. Of course they loved him. I'm a little afraid, though, you know, for the kids, he's going to get so elevated beyond the status of just, like, a father and a husband. Might cause other issues.
actually going to be more independent, more middle of the road thinking, and they're going to struggle and they're going to go through a broad range of emotions, particularly when they're teenagers, about, you know, was my dad right to have this stance?
He was not.
So emotional turmoil for them for the rest of their lives. And they're actually going to come to a point in their lifetimes, which I think.
Hey, Duck Sauce with a tip says beef, it's what's for dinner. Thank you, Duck Sauce, for your generous $10 tip. I appreciate it.
I think it's probably
It's plenty for beef, by the way. I got that beef money. Thank
quite
you.
natural of the grieving process. Correct me. He says, yes, it is. I was like, correct me if I'm wrong. He's saying yes. But where they become very angry about, you know, his stance.
You want me to eat BJ beef? I would have to get a membership to BJ's. And I'm a Costco gal, okay? I am on Team Costco. Middle road between civil rights. Oh, wait, where did it go? It disappeared.
And they're going to have to work.
I was about to okay that message for whoever deleted it. At least I think, unless there was something in it I didn't see.
Work through that. She will get remarried.
Is this the same channeler lady from the channel about the dead son named Eric? No, that's another person who I assume will do her own. I mean, we can check and see if she's done a Charlie Kirk yet.
But I know it's too soon to start giving out stuff like that. But this is where his poor children will be. They won't even remember him. All they'll be able to have is his legacy that he's leaving behind with videos and
not a very good legacy in my opinion.
I believe he had a podcast and photographs and stories that other people.
It is funny listening to people who have no idea who Charlie Kirk is talking about him. So good.
Will tell them about their dad, but for them, they're psychologically going to go through the ringer.
Have they always been in the soul loop with him?
Reincarnation cycle is what they mean by soul loop.
Every single lifetime. And his wife as well.
You're tired of this Kirk news timeline already? Oh yeah, by the way, tomorrow, I know that we've done too much Kirk. I know it's been a thing for like a week, and I didn't even want to cover it today, but so much of the tinfoil is just Kirk stuff, so I had to cover it this week. Tomorrow's stream will have nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, and in fact, we will probably have kind of a rule of like, we're not going to talk about Charlie Kirk at all, because we've been talking about it too much. So whatever we do tomorrow will have nothing to do with Charlie Kirk or any of that fucking nonsense. We're going to move on, as the rest of the world should. Hello? Dead air? Did it stop? Why is there no more?
Any soul contracts, I guess, that his wife has to pay up from this?
Well, she's terrified that something's going to happen to her right now. And that's with good reason, right? Anybody would feel that way. This is PTSD. I mean, maximum trauma. This is about as trauma.
She watched her husband get shot. She almost certainly has PTSD, as the kids probably do too if they were watching.
As you
Even if they weren't directly watching the whole situation, yeah, probably.
Get, right? For her and that family. So
was the wife at the event? Oh yeah, wife and kids. Wife and kids. Eek.
So it's going to take a long time. And again, going through those emotions.
Like, I think we all have to agree, and I'd hope we'd all agree, pretty much regardless of how you feel about Charlie Kirk, no kid deserves to see that shit. That's fucked up. Feel bad for those kids.
Of anger. Like, why did you feel that you were the one to bring this message? Like, couldn't it have been anyone else?
Why weren't the kids in school? I think they're young. They're like young kids. For the record, like, this is not a truancy issue. They were like, they are young. They are like baby, toddler, just maybe just about to go to school age, I think. But like, yeah.
Why did you have to be so influential? And argument, debating. Even as I'm tapping in, I'm saying, do you feel that you were quite argumentative in this lifetime? Very, very much so.
Would you say Charlie Kirk was an argumentative fella? It's his whole personality publicly.
And I'm going to ask him another question. Do you believe that maybe you would have had a greater impact?
Extra fucked up is that it's all over the internet and they might have to see the video as teens and adults. From what I've seen, it's been pretty locked up at this point. Like, I'm sure it's the internet. It's out there and it's floating. But they probably won't just stumble upon it. Now, unfortunately, the world is full of sick fucks, and what will most likely happen is anyone who is aware of who they are and finds their information might send it to them, which is sick and wrong. I could see that happening, but I don't think they'll randomly stumble across it. They will either seek it out because they're morbidly curious, which is unfortunate, but maybe a thing a person would do, or they will get maliciously sent it by people being assholes.
If
they'll be used as props, almost certainly, unfortunately.
You had chosen the path of getting a law degree, becoming a lawyer, then going into politics. No, he says, no, Liz, no, this was the most impactful path.
All right. Let me see if channeling Eric did anything, and then we'll call it a night. Oh, River Phoenix. No Charlie Kirk yet, though. I imagine they will at some point, but apparently they have a little bit more tact than the other people. Hulk Hogan, though. They're going to talk to Hulk Hogan?
Did that make you scared? Or were you just relieved?
Hulk Hogan, how did you feel that time on... Oh, fuck, was it TNA or NXT? When you were in that match and that guy laid down because you made them change the script so he loses the match. Did you feel good about that, you douchebag? Anyway. Where was he, Hollywood Hogan? That was NXT, right? Don't make wrestling jokes. No one gets them. Anyway. Yeah, Hogan in his later career. Was it WCW? Thank you. Jesus Christ. Oh, power inherent in the people.
And then also right now is the aspect...
I'll save this for later. Okay. So thank you, everyone. NXT is WWE's training promotion. That makes sense. NXT next. That makes sense. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Like I said, tomorrow's stream will have nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. We're not going to talk about Charlie Kirk or any of the stuff surrounding it. We're just not. I don't know what we'll be doing yet. It'll either be MLM or... what else? I could do MLM, I could do VHS Vault, though it's a Friday, so I'll probably want to do something more than that. Either MLMs or sovereign citizens. We'll see. You're tired of the racist? Me too. So let's see who we're going to raid on Twitch. Thank you again, everyone, for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. I know I was a little rough, especially at the beginning. I'm feeling better now, though. Especially because I can now go get beef to make a patty melt, and that's like my comfort food, so... That'll help a lot. Thank you again, everyone. You're awesome. Let's see who we're gonna raid.
From afar.
Especially during Christmas time, I really crave them. It's like-
Tax bill that now I don't even have to do anything.
I don't know. We'll raid David Packman. Alright. Have a good night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Not Pac-Man? Alright, if someone says no, I don't know enough about Pac-Man, apparently. We'll do Cassifel.
Buddy, towel it up a little bit.
Alright. Have a good night, everyone. See you later. Have a good night. Oh, is he a Zionist? Good to know. Alright, have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye. That surprises me. He's a Zionist? Really? That fucking sucks. That's a bummer. See you later.